Harris Insurance Agency, SK Smith Electric, Guy Hadley's Cafe, First Cellular, Mount Carmel Public Utility, and the J. Woodman Autoplex. And by KB Construction, Wabash General Hospital, Kiefer Brothers Construction, Gottman's Custom Jewelry, Robert Walter Furniture, Mundy Insurance, Denton Drugs, and Dersh Energies. And by General Baptist Nursing Home, Southern Illinois Tire, and WSJD Mix 100.5. Golden Aces football on Mount Carmel's own Channel 12.
Golden Aces, believe it or not, are the top two teams when it comes to conference championships in the history of the NEC. Mount Carmel has won 23 NEC championships. You'll mark it up number 24 after this season is done. While the Lawrenceville Indians are second with 17 conference championships. While the Aces have enjoyed the 10 of the last 11 conference titles. When is the last time the Lawrenceville Indians won the NEC? That's today's trivia question. We'll give you the answer at halftime. Aces Trivia brought to you by Bluff City Fitness. Aces now being introduced. They're introducing the defense for the Golden Aces in their traveling white uniforms with the maroon numbers with gold trim, the gold pants, and the gold helmet as well. Lawrenceville in their home red with the white numbers and the white Indian along the sleeve. They wear plain red helmets with white face masks. And for our television viewers, you may be seeing the picture now of the middle of the field, the painted Indian that the art class or maybe someone from the townhouse came down late last night and painted up the Indian. Certainly an interesting engine there at the middle of the field, guys.
They did a nice job in the headdress. We'll give them that.
Well, maybe that's a little modern kind of art, kind of interpretation there. And I think it's just, a matter of the, I think it's more left up to the individual to how you want to interpret that. But again, I tell you what, this is a nice place. I like how the field sets along the bank. And as you pointed out, Kevin, there are two, the length of this football field, watching that film, the Flora Lawrenceville film this week, the length of this football field had right down the hash marks. There's like trenches. And there was water standing literally 3 to 4 inches the length of the field. And boy, you talk about just a mud bowl. That film was something else to see this week.
Well, what's funny is really the field, while it is in poor shape, obviously, from that rain, it really has held up better than I would have guessed coming in here. There's no really bad spots, I guess, in the field. I mean, it's had a lot of rain on it, but for the most part, it's held up quite well through all of the torrential downpours it's had to put up with this year. Lots of Golden Aces fans on hand here today, fellas. I see the Aces have parked their vehicles, the traveling caravans, along the track on the far side where the Aces fans are sitting. Tailgating going on. Some fans have a blanket out, setting up on the side of the hill to the far side. Lots of maroon and gold in the stands. Lawrenceville with a decent crowd. Of course, it is homecoming, so they're expecting a lot of folks here to wear the red and white here on the near side. Aces are to the far side on the sideline, as we mentioned, while Lawrenceville is on the near. The coin toss, and Mount Carmel calls it, and we're about to find out from the head referee. Lawrenceville wins the toss. They defer to the second half. Mount Carmel will elect to receive the ball to start the game. So that is how this one will start. The Aces will travel left to right as you visualize. Lawrenceville will kick right to left on your radio dial. And so the Aces offense gets the first chance here this afternoon with the league's leading passer and the second leading running back in the league as well in Jed Casburn. Interesting statistic to watch for, guys. You'll have to help me here. Chris Rafferty 105 yards away from being a 1,000-yard passer. In this week number 7, I was informed last week by Scott Allen that his uncle John Rafferty did not reach the 1,000 mark until the 8th game of the regular season during his senior year. So that would give Chris a leg up on his uncle. If he could get the 1,000-yard mark today in week 7, he would have to get 105 total passing yards to get to that mark here today. Indians set to kick it away. Again, they travel right to left as you visualize. Aces counter left to right, and we're set to kick it away, and the kicker is number 53, Justin Harris, taking a short kickoff taken by Zeb Marcotte at about the 27 or so and pulled up there and returned to the 33, and that is where the Aces offense will take over after the 6-yard return by Zeb Marcotte, who had a big touchdown last week.
It'll be interesting, guys, to see how this Lawrenceville defense handles the no-huddle of Mount Carmel. They've seen it once this year by Robinson Lawrenceville fans say that it gave them some trouble, but Mount Carmel runs a different type of no huddle a lot more efficiently than Robinson does.
First play from scrimmage, Chris Rafferty hands off to Justin Swanson, who barrels up the middle behind that front line of Snow and Steckler, Burbrick up there, along with Seth Swanson and Josh Horrell. Gain of 6 for Justin Swanson. It is 2nd and 4 for the Aces. Second play from scrimmage, we're going to put it in the air, and he's got a receiver. That's Jed Casburn along the left hash mark, running the inside route. It's a first down and then some, as that will move the sticks at least a good 25 yards.
And I believe you're headed on the head there, Kevin. We caught them the very first play of the game in a scrambling situation where they weren't even set on defense, so that's going to be a problem, I believe.
Aces sets them down, or Chris Rafferty, rather, sets them down here. Well, the Aces now challenging on the 35 of Lawrenceville. This time, Rafferty will keep on the option. Nice. Now gives it to Casburn at the last minute.
That's a boy.
And Casburn will push the ball up ahead, down inside the 20 to about the 16, 17-yard line. That'll be yet another first down. Gain of about 12 for for Jed Casburn. Rafferty picked up about 7 himself and then dished it off to Casburn, who got the rest of the yardage.
Well, something I like to see there by Casburn. Just he got to the corner and turned it up and put his head down a little bit.
Aces driving. Ball on the Indian 19. Here's Josh Keepus over the right side. He's going to be close to a touchdown, and he's in. Josh Keepus from 19 yards away, and the Aces strike quickly. It is 6-0 here in this one with only 1 minute and 9 seconds gone by in the first quarter. Mount Carmel in front on the Josh Keepus touchdown jaunt.
Well, we just run that belly play. Excellent blocking along the right side that time, and once Keepus got to the corner, he was scampered in.
Aces will send on the extra point team. Gabe Williams to kick, Ryan Peter to hold at the 10:51 mark here of quarter number 1. Aces set him down. Here's the snap. Ball down, kick is up, and it is good. Just inside the right upright, but it all counts the same. And with the extra point, the Aces lead 7-0. 10:51 to go here in quarter number 1. Back with more Aces football right after this.
Security Bank says we're your bank for life. We mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
You'll find us just up the road from the orchard. Can't miss us. Right across the street from the grade school. Or over on Washington Avenue, a stone's throw from Green River Road. We're Welborn Clinic, the Tri-State's finest personal physicians, working together to provide advanced, cost-efficient care. Right where you want us. Right in your neighborhood, including the heart of downtown Evansville. Welborn Clinic, your total healthcare system.
Our heating and air conditioning dealer is Dave Lennox.
Actually, that's Glenn Swartz at Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
People trust Dave to keep them comfortable.
Glenn Swartz.
It's not just that Dave has the best equipment.
This is Dave. I'm Glenn.
He also passed that Lennox Quality Dealer Standards program.
Dave, Glenn. So,
if you've got a problem, call Dave.
Or call Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
Lennox, 5,000 independent dealers, 100 years of service. One less thing to worry about.
Attaboy, Dave. Glenn.
Hey, Aces fans, after the game, meet your friends at Subway, 809 Walnut Street in Mount Carmel for a delicious sub sandwich or salad. They're open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays and until midnight Sunday through Thursday. Subway offers over 14 different varieties of 6-inch or foot-long subs, and you can create your own special sub by choosing from 8 different veggies free of charge. All subs are made with fresh baked bread, and Subway has 6 subs that have 6 or less grams of fat. Any sub can also be made as a salad. Subway, 809 Walnut Street.
Williams kicks it off to open up out of the Aces touchdown, a 39-yard kick down to the approximately the Indian 22, and the return man there, I believe, looked to be 34, Levi Bernard. He brings it ahead to the Aces 30-yard line, and that is where the Indians will start on offense. So here come the Indians. Under center is the quarterback, Josh Whittingham, number 25, a junior. Almost drew the Aces offside, but this time the handoff over the left side. I believe that is Nick Benson, the fullback. Check that. That's Scott Couch, the halfback. He goes over the left side for a gain of about 1. Burbrick and McNew on the initial. Gabe Williams helping as well. 2nd and 9 for the Indians.
Well, you know, one of the things with this no-huddle offense is the fact that you want to run more offensive plays. You pointed out, Rob, throughout the season than the opponent, and them moving the football is going to be vital for Lawrenceville today.
That brings up a 2nd and 9 for the Indians. Winningham under center, sets him down, and pro set backfield behind him with Scott Couch and Nick Benson. This time, some misdirection, and to the halfback, or to the quarterback, rather, Josh Winningham kept himself after faking the dive to Scott Couch, and he goes nowhere. Matter of fact, dropped for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up now a 3rd and 12 for the Indians.
Winningham really popped on that play, too. If he takes a beating like Ernst took last year against the Aces, then he's in for a long afternoon.
So here comes Winningham with Benson and Couch behind him. The split ends, Lockhart and Bobe. Luke Lockhart and Jeff Bobe. Neil Whitmer is the tight end. Lockhart split wide to the right. Option this time to the right side, and Winningham will keep himself. Penalty flag on the play. Some fancy footwork by Winningham. He was stopped initially in the backfield by the Aces' Mark Fisher, but kept his legs going, was able to sneak over Fisher then and dive ahead for about a 4-yard gain, and it's going to be a penalty on the Indians regardless. Clipping, it looked like, against the Indians, and it will be declined. So give a gain of 5 to Josh Winningham, the quarterback, but that'll bring up now a 4th and 8, and the Indians will be forced to punt it away.
I think we can safely say that this is not a high-powered Lawrenceville offense coming into the game today.
On to punt for the Indians. I believe that's Winningham again, 25. Yeah, he's the punter as well. Williams and Casburn back deep, and they're going to let it roll dead as they let it sneak by them. And it will be touched dead there at the Golden Aces 29-yard line. That's where the Aces will take over on offense. No return. And a kick of about 39 yards for the quarterback and punter, Josh Winningham.
And if our TV viewers can notice, poor old Mr. Horrell there at center has got a club hanging on that left appendage of this. That thing looks like it's 6 inches across that hand.
So the Aces will take over on offense. 9:03 to play first quarter. Aces lead 7-0 here in Lawrenceville.
Now, I think we may have a flag on the play. I'm not sure. The Lawrenceville bench is just being warned to keep the kids back, but the official was putting the flag in his pocket. And I think we do have a flag against Lawrenceville.
Yeah, now the head official, the referee, talking to Captain Aaron Burbrick about what the penalty could have been. Now, the first penalty, the clipping on the last play, was declined by the Aces, so no penalties officially yet for the Indians. But now, are they going to make them punt it over or not? Aaron Burbrick, now the Indians are walking back.
Or if it's a dead ball situation, the Aces might just get 15, but they're talking an awful long time for that to be the case.
And we have unsportsmanlike conduct against the Indians, so one of the Indians must have pulled a bonehead stunt because, and it's after the play, a dead ball foul, so the Aces, instead of starting on their own 29, are now going to be moved up to the 49-yard line, and that's where the Aces will take over.
And
right?
I tell you, it doesn't matter where you are when you got this crew of Dick Dietz and Bill Biggerstaff and Mr. Hungate, they're not going to put up with anything.
Loveless split wide left. Rafferty's going to throw it. He's got Grant in the flats, and just out of his reach. Grant running the flag pattern that time. We got by the outside linebacker, but was not able to pull in the catch. Little out of reach. Chris put just a little too much on it and out of reach of Brandon Grant. 2nd and 10 for Mount Carmel. 8:59 to play first quarter. Loveless split wide right. Snow wide left. Grant now in the slot. Here's the quick pitch to Casburn along the left side.
Yeah.
Running room. He's got 5 He's at the 30, 25, and finally dragged down there by the Indian Scott Couch.
Boy, did Steckler put a hit on that kid, huh? Hello, Mr. Steckler.
A 26-yard jaunt for Jed Casburn. And the Aces have a first down in Lawrenceville territory as we'll take over on the Lawrenceville 25.
I think that's the way you seal the corner, isn't it?
So here come the Aces again. Loveless split wide right, Snow left. This time to Swanson going over the left side, and not a whole lot there. The Indians close it down in a hurry. Maybe a gain of 1 yard for the senior fullback. 2nd and 9, Mount Carmel. 8:33 to go first quarter. Clock running. Rafferty in under center. Misdirection this time. The counter to Casburn, who's got running room. Moves to the top 5 and touchdown. Goes in from 24 yards away, and the Aces now lead 13-0.
Well, good blocking scheme up front again. A little misdirection of the counter inside. Good fake that time by Chris Rafferty, too, I think.
Jed Casburn has 3 carries for 52 yards today and a touchdown. Not a bad per carry average. Gabe Williams on to attempt the extra point. Mount Carmel in front here early, 13-0. We haven't even played 4 minutes of this one. Here's the snap, the hold by Peter. The kick is up, and it is good. We've played only 3 minutes and 40 seconds of football, but Mount Carmel leads the Lawrenceville Indians 14-0. Back with more right after this.
When you're looking for the best in checking, look no further than the Bank of Mount Carmel. Whether you want the convenience of free checking with unlimited withdrawals, the popular Bank Club account with its many benefits, or an interest-bearing Now or Super Now account, we have a checking option that's just right for you. Bank of Mount Carmel even offers the special Star account based on money market interest rates. When you need checking with the best flexibility and benefits, look for the sign of complete friendly banking services. Look for Bank of Mount Carmel, located at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
For over 70 years, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has served the Wabash Valley area with all grades of sand and gravel. Since starting in 1924, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has added concrete, oil and chip, and a variety of crushed stone to their product line. And now Sand and Gravel is continuing to grow. Their road construction division has pioneered a specialty in soil stabilization that has taken them to hundreds of projects in 8 states. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, call Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel.
Something big has just arrived at Hardee's.
Hey, boy. Run tell them toast is ready.
Introducing the Texas Toast Bacon Cheeseburger from Hardee's. A quarter pound of sizzling beef, melted cheese, and bacon wedged between thick slabs of grilled Texas toast. Only at Hardee's. What will they think of next? How about the Texas Toast Breakfast Sandwich with ham, bacon, egg, and melted cheese?
Thursday night is a night full of sports on Mount Carmel's own TV 12. First at 7 o'clock, catch up with Aces head football coach John Hart. He talks Aces football on Coach's Corner. He talks about last week's previous opponent and looks ahead to next week's foe. Follow that up with Fighting Illini football and Lou Tepper on The Lou Tepper Show at 7:30. After that, at 8 o'clock, it's a variety of Aces and Warriors sports. Thursday night, a night of sports on TV 12.
Gabe Williams kicks it away to open this up, and that one, a nice kick by Williams, clear down to the 10, and returned there by the Indians. I think that might have been Neil Whitner. He returns it, a nice return up to about the 31-yard line, and that's where the Indians will take over after that 20-yard return. Aces in front 14-0. We haven't even played 4 minutes of this one yet, men.
Well, fellas, if you want to work on your stats and we're going to make a play or two, you better do it early here in this game defensively.
Here come the Indians. Well, Josh Winningham, the junior quarterback, number 25, under center, with flankers at both sides. This time they try the draw to Nick Benson, but it is going nowhere.
Look at Joe D.
Joe D, the first linebacker to get him, and he put a stick on Benson.
You know, one of the things they talked about this week was really getting back to the reads and making sure the linebackers, our line play has gotten better this year because our linemen have done a better job to keep people off our backers. Well, your backers got to stay at home and really make reads instead of trying to make plays. And I think that's been one big emphasis this week.
Whittingham with flankers to both sides. Pro set backfield behind him, and Couch and Benson. And this time, Mark Fisher all over the quarterback, but he had handed it off just in time to, I believe, that might have been Dunlap or Scott Couch, number 22. Looks like Couch. And he goes over the right side for about a gain of 1, so it'll be 3rd and a long 8 for the Indians. Aces defense swarming today.
And the Indians in a passing situation here, but you just wonder what Brad Bobe will do with Winningham at quarterback, being the 9th-rated quarterback in the 8-team NEC.
Only has 2 QBs ahead of him, I see, as I look through the stats. Luke Larkhart split wide left, tight end on this left side as well. Here's a quick pitch and going nowhere. Gabe Williams sniffs it out as Scott Couch, they went with a tight end and a flanker on the left side. And Gabe Williams not fooled. They tried to go quick pitch left here to the near side, and Williams stuffs it in the backfield for about a 6-yard loss. And that'll bring up a 4th and 14 now for the Indians.
Nice read that time by Gabe. That's preparation. That's working during the week. That's paying attention. Nice play that time.
So Whittingham back to do the punting duties for the Indians. And he'll let this one go. McNew almost got a hand on it, and not a very good punt, but they're going to get an Indian roll. And that will roll to the second Indian roll.
You did say that.
I never heard of it.
Indian roll, that's right.
It rolls just into Mount Carmel territory at the Mount Carmel 48, and that is where the Golden Aces will take over on offense. Net the punt at 22 yards, and the Aces offense will trot back onto the field for their 3rd series in this first quarter, and we've yet to play half of it.
If you look at Mr. Horrell there, it looks like he's got a leg hanging off his arm there, doesn't it?
Under center, Rafferty going to roll out and pass this time after some play action. He throws up a high one for Snow, and it's out of bounds, actually over in the Aces crowd on that far side. Some pressure up front by the Indians.
We might mention there is a stiff breeze blowing, going the Aces' way, so the wind might have taken that ball somewhat and just taken it out of Craig's reach.
Sam Sanders, the junior, providing pressure for the Indians on Rafferty. Chris 1 for 3 today for 26 yards. Now under 100 yards needed to reach the 1,000-yard barrier. And here come the Aces. Snow split wide left. Grant, the tight end, on the right side. Ball's on the right hash. Misdirection to Casburn, going nowhere. And again, we call the name of the junior, Sam Sanders, who's in the backfield this time, untouched, and he sniffs out the counter. That will be a 3-yard loss for the Aces' Jed Casburn. So that'll bring up now a 3rd and about 12, actually, for Mount Carmel is where the officials mark it. Under center, Rafferty, one back behind him, and he's sacked again, and guess who? Sam Sanders, from his nose tackle position, just reached in and got enough of Rafferty's ankle to trip him up, and Chris falls as he's trying to get into his stance, and how about that? Sam Sanders blows up 3 straight plays. And the Indians' defensive lineman has a series of his own, as that'll bring up a 4th and about 18 for Mount Carmel. Will be forced to punt it away.
Probably just a breakdown of communication that time. The guy just shot the gap that time. Really got off the ball quick.
Stiff breeze blowing for Craig Snow. It will be at his back. He'll punt it away, with the line of scrimmage being the 40-yard line. This one taken by the Indians, Scott Couch, and he quickly dives out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain, not much more than that. So about a 32-yard punt for Craig Snow, and the Indians will be taking over now on their own 36-yard line.
Well, if you're Lawrenceville, you have to build on anything you can possibly grab a hold of, so that defensive stand maybe is something that the Indians can get something going offensively. The first couple of series wouldn't suggest that, but you never know.
Here come the Indians on offense. Whittingham with Luke Lockhart split to the near side, the left side. Pro backfield behind him with Nick Benson and Scott Couch. Whittingham under center. The reverse this time. The end around going nowhere. Sam DeVue, among others. Really, the first one to sniff it out was Mark Fisher, and then here come the troops, Sammy DeVue and Lance McNew. And that play, the reverse end around to the tight end. Neil Whitmer goes nowhere. Matter of fact, a loss of about 5 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Indians. So back to center comes Whittingham. Lockhart split left this time. Jeff Bobe split wide right. Pro backfield behind him. The tight end Whitmer to the left. Drop back pass. He's going to get it off, and nearly completed to Jeff Bobe, the flanker on the right side. Just thrown a little, not enough mustard on it, if you will.
Well, it's hard to throw when you're jumping in the air.
Yeah. Ace's defensive line was all over him in a hurry.
You know, one nasty thing about up here at Lawrenceville is these bees.
Oh, man, they're awful. Whittingham under center. Bobe split wide right. This is Lockhart again left. Pro set backfield behind the junior quarterback. Here's the draw play this time, and Aaron Burbrick says, Going nowhere is the running back, Scott Couch.
Man, did he lift his feet off the ground when he planted him? He hit him head on, wrapped up, and just drilled him into the turf.
Loss of one. Actually, the ball carrier was B.J. Dunlap just into the game, probably wishing his number wouldn't have been called. 4 minutes to play first quarter, and yet again, the Indians are punting it away. Casburn will have a chance to return this one, takes it at his own 45, up over the 50, and they'll finally be brought down at the Indian 48-yard line. So a punt return of some 8 yards for Jed Casburn, and there's where the Aces will take over on offense at the Indian 48. So here come the Aces on offense. Under 4 minutes to play. First quarter, Aces leading 14-0. Rafferty sets them down. Keep us in motion. And again, it is number 78, Sam Sanders, in the backfield. Rafferty had to break out of his tackle. It's like he's going unblocked. Well, and finally just dive ahead for about a yard.
I think what you'll see here is we'll cut our splits down a little bit, obviously, which probably goes without saying. But again, he's just reading through out of that nose position.
Casburn in motion this time. Raff keeps on the option to the right, and a flag down as he wrestles ahead for about a gain of 4 or 5 yards. But there is a penalty marker on the play. And the referees are talking it over right now. The Aces are moving back. Pole's right in my way, so I don't know.
Clipping, yes.
Clipping on the Aces. First penalty of this ball game.
Mr. Keepus may have been guilty of that out there. When you're out there as a running back out there, where you're really exposed to the official's vision.
So the Aces will that time be pushed back by a penalty back into their own territory. Ball will be spotted on their own 40-yard line. So it'll make it a 2nd and 22 for the maroon and gold. Love will split wide right, Snow wide left. Rafferty in under center. Grant in the slot left over there with Snow. Quick pitch this time to Jed Casburn. He's got running room over the left side to the 50 and dragged out of bounds right there. Jared Steckler, the lead blocker, ahead of him. A gain of 10 for Casburn. We'll bring up a 3rd down and about 12 for the Aces. Jed Casburn, 5 carries, 59 yards here today. 1 touchdown already. We haven't even played a quarter. We're at the 3:01 mark of quarter number 1. Snow split wide right this time.
Offside, aren't they?
Loveless left. Boy, it looks like it from here, doesn't it? And they jumped offside, but so did we. I think the Aces' Justin Loveless was too quick out of the gate, which is really unfortunate because the Indians' defensive lineman Matt Gardner was also offside, but they're going to catch the Indians first. I think we caught a break that time. Because Loveless, from his wide receiver position, was moving as well before the snap count, but they say Gardner was in the neutral zone first.
That's just a cardinal rule from a wide receiver position. We're going to go on 2. You've got to watch the ball.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Aces. We're going to put it in the air this time. Rafferty to Grant over the middle, takes a hard hit and still holds on. He's down to the 22. And that's a 22-yard pickup for the Golden Aces, and yet another Aces first down. Brandon Grant on the reception. And what a hit he took from Luke Lockhart, still held on to the ball. Snow split wide right, Grant in the slot right. Seeing Grant a lot in the slot tonight. Here's Swanson over the left side, and he dives ahead for about 7 as the senior fullback goes hard. They'll say 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4 from Mount Carmel. 2:35 remaining, first quarter. Snow flank to the right, Loveless left. Grant again in that slot. We've seen him in the slot most of this first quarter. Normally a tight end. He's been backed off the line of scrimmage to a slot position. We're going to put it in the air this time to Loveless on the quick hitter. That's just an automatic, as they call it in practice, and he's down to about the 8-yard line.
Well, Kevin, if you watch these defensive linemen, they wait till Chris gets up to the center, then they'll jump in position where they trying to maybe not let him get some reads where he audibilizes as much.
It'll be 1st and goal for the Aces from about the 8-yard line, really, 8.5. Mark Fisher in the backfield. Here's the give to Swanson going over the right side. He is just short of the goal line. He needed about 8.5, and I think he got 8 of it. Did Justin Swanson, just short of a touchdown. The lead blocker, Mark Fisher, who's now in the backfield with Swanson and Casburn. Under 2 minutes to play. Double tight end set. Snow at the left tight end, Grant at the right. Rafferty in under center. The give this time. We're going to pass it, and wide open is Brandon Grant. Touchdown on the play action. Grant sneaks out from tight end It's a 1-yard touchdown reception, and the Aces now lead 20-0.
It almost looked like it could have been a late hit on Chris by Winningham, and Winningham went ahead and tackled Chris anyway, and after the touchdown, Chris kind of popped up and right in Winningham's face went, touchdown.
So it's a 1-yard pass play to Brandon Grant, and the Aces up 20-0 now here in quarter number 1 with 1:37 still remaining. And on to try the extra point, Gabe Williams. Kick is up, and it is good. So we played not nearly 1 quarter, and the Aces have already racked up 21 points of offense. Mount Carmel leads 21-0, 1:37 left here in the first. Back with more Aces football right after this.
You can be a winner with a First National Bank Visa card, 8.9% APR, no annual fee, and the credit decision is made locally by the bank's credit department. Local folks providing great service at a great price. Just a 2-minute application process, and within 2 weeks, you can have the lowest credit card rate in the area, bar none. Stop in today or call the First National Bank across from Target Mount Carmel and on Main Street, Allendale, member FDIC.
When it comes to your vehicle, there are 2 names in Mount Carmel you need to know: Shocks Body and Glass and Deck Hill Battery. At Shocks, Paul Rossignol and the crew offer free estimates on your damage, then the expertise and know-how to fix it right the first time. Deck Hill Battery is your all-pro auto parts store, stocking a full array of auto parts. Whatever you're looking for, Deck Hill is bound to have it. When it comes to your car or truck, don't settle on second best. Trust Shocks Body and Glass, 315 West 6th Street, and Deck Hill Battery, 305 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
Little Italy's Pizza in Mount Carmel offers the best in Italian food. Our selection of sandwiches includes the ever-popular Italian beef sandwich, ham and cheese, the Italian sub, and stromboli. And of course we have pizza. Our family feast is only $12 plus tax. It includes a large single-topping pizza, breadsticks, and 2-liter. And since we're located on Walnut Street in Mount Carmel, it's easy for carry-out or delivery. That's Little Italy's Pizza, 262-4121.
At Capital Planning Alliance, our mission is simple.
Our mission is to help our clients achieve an ever-increasing degree of financial independence, safely and efficiently, through a long-term tax, legal, and investment planning relationship with a trusted and knowledgeable advisor.
Capital Planning Alliance's impressive staff consists of 4 certified public accountants, an investment advisor, and legal counsel, bringing to the table over 51 years of financial planning. Call the professionals at Capital Planning Alliance at 263-3640. Capital Planning Alliance, making your money work harder for you.
Man, he's just booting it.
He's going to fumble it. No.
Gabe Williams on the kickoff boots it again to the Indian 10. There it's mishandled by the Indians' return man. Fumbled around. They finally pick it up, and the Indians will have it, but on their own 11-yard line, and Gabe Williams is kicking the heck out of it today.
Yeah, as kept pointing out, he's got a little wind behind him. I think he's catch that there. What is it up there? The jet stream. He caught that a couple times, and boy, he's got some good leg in it.
That's 2 straight kicks that have went to the Indian 10. Here come the Indians now from their own 11-yard line. 1st and 10. 1:31 to go first quarter. Winningham under center. Split ends to both sides. Pro set backfield behind him. And he's going to put it in the air, and now he's got no one to throw to. McNew had him, and just threw it out of bounds. And I'm like you guys. I think we could have seen an intentional grounding there as he just threw it to the sideline.
He was awfully close to being in the end zone. If they do call intentional grounding, he's in the end zone. That's a safety.
Lance McNew had his claws on him. And Winningham just threw it up for grabs. And it goes incomplete. Winningham 0 for 3 today. 1:25 to play, 2nd and 10 Indians.
Well, here's a prediction right now that's not too far of a stretch. We're going to pick one off and run it back for a touchdown before the day is over, the way Winningham's throwing the ball today.
Bobe split left, Lockhart wide right. Pro set backfield again with Benson and Couch behind Winningham. Give this time to the first man through is instead B.J. Dunlap, number 32. He is in the game. And Dunlap over the left side maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
I tell you, I'm really impressed with Aaron and Joe so far in this first quarter of really staying home, staying with their basic rules, not trying to overcommit, over-penetrate, trying to make plays. They're just doing a solid job right now.
Here come the Indians now with a 3rd and 10 as the run by Dunlap got them back to the original line of scrimmage. And no more. A reverse this time for the quarterback, Winningham, who's got running room. He's near the first down marker and has it. A 13-yard gain. The quarterback sweep left, basically what it was. The running backs went right, and he came back left around the left end, and he's got the Indians' first down of the ball game.
Well, they caught us in a blitz that time. We fired our left backer, which was Aaron, in that particular down, and the fullback picked him up, got around in, and a nice job scrambling that time of Winningham.
So that's the first down of the ball game for the Indians. Should make a note, Jason Vaught in the game for Mount Carmel at nose tackle that last play. Here comes Winningham on the option this time, and he's not going to go anywhere. Big Mark Fisher holding on to his lower half, and Winningham nowhere to go. Loss of 3 yards that time as they tried to run option right. And that will do it for the first period of play. It's been all Mount Carmel. They lead 21-0. We've played one complete. Back with quarter number 2 right after this.
Your Mount Carmel Dairy Queen Razorbacks the Golden Aces all the way. Dairy Queen is your home for hot eats and cool treats. Choose from single, double, or triple brazier burgers, chicken strip baskets, chili dogs, and much more. And cool treats are what made DQ famous, from their dilly bars, ice cream sandwiches, and star kisses. Plus, don't forget to try a Dairy Queen Treatsa pizza or ice cream cake for your next special occasion. There's nothing else like it. All this and more at Dairy Queen Razor on West 3rd Street in Mount Carmel.
Kyle and Connie Day, owners of Corwin Printing Company, invite you to visit them at 1004 Landy Street in Mount Carmel. Corwin Printing is your quality printing specialist. Corwin produces calendars and other specialty items which are sure to fit your business advertising needs. Letterheads and envelopes, as well as desktop papers, ideal for laser printers, are among the items Corwin Printing specializes in. Corwin self-inking stamps can help make your job easier. If quick quality service is what you need, contact Corwin Printing at 263-3936.
Quick and convenient. That's the basis of the Apothecary Shop's drive-up window. When you don't feel like getting out of your car, simply call ahead, and the Apothecary Shop's friendly and helpful staff will have your order ready. The Apothecary Shop is the only pharmacy in Mount Carmel that offers this convenient service. The Apothecary Shop also offers friendly professional consultation on any side effects of medication your doctor may prescribe. In addition, they can help with any over-the-counter medications or remedies you might need. The Apothecary Shop, East 9th Street, Mount Carmel.
Only Joe Bob Pierce has a plan to put Southern Illinois families first. Joe Bob Pierce, he worked with Paul Simon to create jobs. Now he's working to improve our roads and create jobs right here. Joe Bob Pierce, determined to stop the plans to give our education funds to the wealthy Chicago suburbs. Joe Bob Pierce, putting our families first, fighting for our fair share for a change. Joe Bob Pierce, our state representative.
All right, back in Lawrenceville, Rob Blackman, Kevin Madden, Rick Johnston, where it's been all Mount Carmel in quarter number 1. The Aces lead it 21-0. Lawrenceville football on their own 13. They'll be faced with a second and 13, we'll say. And I should say the ball's actually spotted on their own 21. So 2nd and 13 from the Indian 21. That's where the Indians take over to start quarter number 2. Winningham, the quarterback, in under center. Split ends to both sides. Pro set backfield behind him. And the 5-step straight drop back. He's going to put it in the air. He's got a receiver, but overthrows the wideout Jeff Bobe. Hard hit put on him over here by Ryan Peter, who was in coverage. And Winningham yet to complete a pass today, 0 for 4, as they tried to pass that one here to the near side. Indians travel left to right, as you visualize here in quarter number 2. That'll bring up a 3rd and 13. Winningham breaks him out of the huddle. He's got Lockhart split right, Bobe split wide left. Benson and Dunlop behind him. Winningham with a drop, going to try the quarterback draw this time, but Brian Snyder's got him, can't hold him. He bounces off another would-be tackle. I think that was Aaron Burbrick, and then dives ahead for a gain of about 7 yards or so.
I believe Sam DeVue was the one who finished him up there. And boy, we've got 9 people up on the box. Rob just daring him to throw the football.
So a 5-yard gain, they say, for Winningham. But they're going to be forced to punt it away. And guess who? Mr. Whittingham has to punt it again. And this one blocked by Sam DeVue. And it's going to get out of bounds, but Sammy DeVue with the block of the punt that time. And the Golden Aces are going to have the ball in great field position on the Indian 21-yard line.
There's a high snap to Winningham. He had to go up for it, bring it back down. By that time, DeVue was in to block it. And the Aces, like you said, Rob, in great field position, already up 21-0.
Sammy DeVue, both he and Lance McNew were close to it. DeVue, I should say, got it first, got the hand on it, and knocked it away. Rafferty rolls right, looking to pass. Now he's running for his life. He's going to have to eat it, and it's a sack as the Indians had good coverage down deep on Snow and Lovelace and Grant, no one to throw to, and Rafferty has to eat it, and boy, that takes you out of good field position in a hurry. That is an 11-yard loss.
At the beginning of the play, Grant was open on the far side, but Chris needed to roll out to get set to throw that way, and by that time, Grant was covered, and the sack pushed the Aces back.
Ball on the right hash, Casburn in motion, option right, instead gives it to Keepus over the right side on the belly, and he'll dive down to the 5-yard line. A 25-yard gain for Josh Keepus. Puts the Aces within scoring distance again. It'll be 1st and goal from the Indian 5.
Are we set up here for the alley-oop here, Kevin?
I mean, Keepus wasn't even touched till he was about 15 yards down the field. You're right, Rick. This would be a perfect lob position for Craig. Just let him go up high.
We got him split wide to the right. He's got single coverage over there with Jeff Bobe on him. And we instead go belly left side to Casburn, who's in for the Aces touchdown. From 5 yards out, Casburn has his second TD of the day, and the Golden Aces now lead 27-0 here at the 10:22 mark of quarter number 2. All of that set up by the Josh Keepus 25-yard jaunt along the right side. Aces came back with the exact same play, only to the left, the belly that time, and it's an Aces touchdown.
Well, it is homecoming, and I'm sure there's going to be a dance tonight, so you have to dance with what brung you, right?
That's Williams' extra point try off the Peter hold is good. Williams a perfect 4 for 4. And Mount Carmel leads it 28-0. We're early in the second quarter. Stay with us. Back with more Aces football right after this.
Security Bank is your bank for life, all your life, and for all your financial needs. And no matter how much your needs change, we'll always keep you moving in the right direction to get you safely where you want to be. We offer a full range of financial services, so we can do a lot for you now and in the future. From simple checking to good living loans for any reason, we're here to serve your financial needs every step of the way. Security Bank, your bank for life.
For a decade now, Pit Stop Services has served area drivers with dedicated service. Whether it's Pit Stop's famous quick but complete oil changes or Pit Stop's great deals on all-season radials from Michelin, Cooper, Remington, and others, Pit Stop Services has built its reputation on putting the customer first. Now Pit Stop is proud to offer ZZ Wheels. ZZ Wheels is the hottest look in wheels and features a patented interchangeable twist lock design to completely transform the look of your wheels in seconds. Drive a little, save a lot at Pit Stop Services.
Every day, in every kind of home, people discover the special pleasures of owning Palo windows. It's the ingenuity of 2 locks secured by a single handle, the promise of quality from the only company that tests windows right on the factory line to make sure they're airtight, and the thoughtfulness of a door that locks in 3 places for added comfort and security. Discover why Palo owners are so satisfied year after year after year.
For your free idea book, call 1-800-64-PALA.
Your 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week supermarket, Mount Carmel Red and White, continues to be your full-service grocery store. Red and White makes your grocery shopping easier by now accepting Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, in addition to your bank ATM card. Need a money order? There's no need to go any further than Red and White. Plus, Red and White is your headquarters for the Rug Doctor, and you can even take home a video from Red and White's video aisle. And you can play the Illinois Lottery at your hometown supermarket, Mount Carmel Red and White, from the corner of 9th and Walnut Streets.
Man, against the wind.
Gabe Williams' ensuing kickoff after the touchdown travels to the Indian 13. But a nice return by the Indians. Luke Lockhart brings it up to the 32, 19-yard return by Lockhart, and that is where the Indians will take over, 1st and 10, trailing 28-0.
I believe the wind is a little bit of a factor, don't you believe, Kevin?
Yeah, just a tad.
That's where the Indians take over on offense. Josh Winningham, the junior signal caller behind, under center, I should say. Matt Gardner, the center. And here's some misdirection again to the quarterback, and he runs right into Jeff Bobe, his halfback. I think Bobe was trying to block for him, but instead blocked Whittingham right into the arms of Mark Fisher.
Does he get credit for a tackle?
So it'll be a loss of 3, bring up a 2nd and 13 now for Lawrenceville.
You know, unfortunately for Lawrenceville, they had some running room there. He could have picked up 8, 9, 10, and maybe even the first down off that scheme.
They're going to say 2nd and 12, ball on the 29-yard line of the Indians. They're on the right hash. Whittingham in under center. He barks out the signal, sets him down, going to try to put it in the air, and just throws it out here as he was under a fierce rush by the Aces front 4, Sean Thacker, and also Lance McNew in there as well. Mark Fisher also putting some pressure on Whittingham.
Great line push that time with our front 4, Rob. You pointed out, hit it on the head. They, we're pretty sharp here. I think we came out focused, and that's one of the things we talked about is whether or not we came to play, and so far we've been pretty sharp.
Here come the Indians, faced with a 3rd and 12 from their own 29-yard line. Whittingham sets them down. And this time, option right. No, he's going to step back and pass. He's got a receiver down the field. Caught by Luke Lockhart, and it's a first down as the Indians are in Aces territory for the first time today. They're to the Aces 42-yard line after a nice catch by Luke Lockhart.
He got some time to throw that time for one of the few times today. He kind of rolled out and found Lockhart down the field, and the Aces give up the first down.
Well, that was uncharacteristic that time, I believe, this year for Ryan Haywood. He has been our best cover man. I don't think there's any question. And, they had 2 receivers there within about 5 yards. And I don't know whether he thought that maybe the front receiver was going to catch that or what.
Whittingham now in Aces territory. They're to the Aces 43-yard line. And they're going to try to pass it again. Straight drop back, puts it in the air. He's got the receiver, but overthrows the intended receiver, Jeff Bobe. Ryan Peter on the coverage from Mount Carmel.
I'll tell you one thing. They're just messing with the fire if they think they can throw the ball all afternoon. I mean, something bad for Lawrenceville is going to happen if they think they can keep going deep against us.
I think you'll see our defensive coordinator, Coach Peach, and Coach Kevin Smith's up there with him in the booth, and I think you might see one or maybe even both of our backers come flying in there here.
Seth Swanson checks in defensively for the Aces, replacing Sean Thacker at nose guard. Up front with Snyder and McNew as well. Straight drop back. They're going to put it in the air again. Double, triple pump, and finally knocked away through into double coverage. Both Jake Lewis and Joe D covering up the intended receiver, Josh Weger, number 82.
That shows how much I know. We dropped everybody back in coverage that time, rushed 4 people.
The one play we haven't seen yet that Lawrenceville has in its playbook is where the throwback pass to Winningham. So we'll see if maybe Brad Bobe doesn't drag that one out here.
Now, how did you get a hold of their playbook? That's amazing to me. This guy could find anything out. He's in the locker room at Fairfield with the officials and don't want to know about the weather.
Flanker split wide left for the Indians. Double tight end set this time. We haven't seen that very much here in the first half. And another passing. And it's a swing pass out here to Nick Benson, who's got some running room along the right side before he's finally bounced out of bounds over here by the Aces strong safety Gabe Williams. Pickup of about 4 yards. Benson on the reception. That'll bring up a 4th and about 7.
Again, Kevin, had he waited a little bit for his blocker to come up and put the hit on Peter there instead of the other way around, he may have had some running room again.
Right. They just, no good way to put it. I mean, if the kids are instinctive enough to realize things like that, like the Mount Carmel kids are, then, you're going to be a better football team down the road. But a lot of times instincts on a play like that just take over.
Indians will go for it. 4th and 7 from The Aces 41 puts it in the air and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Josh Weeger. He'd have had a first down. He was right at the marker, but it just goes right through his hands, and the Indians will turn it over on downs. Good ball that time from Whittingham, but the receiver just didn't hold on.
And again, our coaches elected to drop people back into coverage, and maybe that's something we need to work on here early in the game, and but you don't know how long these guys are going to be in the ball game.
Aces set him down this time as the offense is on the field, and here is the fullback trap to the fullback, Justin Swanson. Not a lot of running room there. Picks up maybe 1 yard at that. Bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Aces. Ball is on at their own 42-yard line. Burbrick and Snow along with Horrell, Steckler, and Swanson up front for the Aces. And Swanson took off early, but he did move laterally, the fullback. So it may, depending on how the official sees it, one of the Indians then, the defensive lineman, came rushing across the line, and they're going to say it is on Justin Swanson, our 2nd penalty this game for movement.
They could also nailed Sanders for really a late, not necessarily a late hit, but unnecessary roughness, because he shot across and really delivered a nice little hit on Chris, and the ball hadn't even been snapped.
So that'll make it 2nd and 14 for Mount Carmel. Ball now on the Indian 36. Rafferty barking out the signals. He's got Lovelace split left with Casburn in the slot on the same side. Now Kaz in motion. Option this time. Rafferty keeps himself and dives ahead past the original line of scrimmage and then some. Picked up maybe 6 yards, we'll say, for Chris Rafferty, and that will bring up a 3rd down and about 9 for the Aces.
Looks as though Chris was maybe turning back inside looking for Mr. Sanders again. That wasn't bad.
Lovelace split wide left. Casburn in the slot to the near side as well. And Rafferty in under center. Tries the hard count. Now pulls out, and how about that? As he was trying to get in to his drop to set up the pass, he just tripped and falls down, and that will bring on the punt team.
Chris was dropping back, and you don't know if he just got his own feet tangled up, or maybe he clipped the back of Horrell's heel or something like that as he was dropping back, but something I don't think we've seen all year out of Chris.
So for the 2nd time today, we will see the Aces' Craig Snow, and that one taken over here by the Indians. Jeff Bobe, and hit hard.
You could hear that over the mics up here.
Wow. Who was it that got him first? Was it Grant or Steckler? It might have been. Really put the hit on Jeff Bobe after about a 5-yard return.
I can tell Craig hasn't been the punter for long, because after Lawrenceville sent the punt block in after him, and a couple of players actually hit him, but Craig, instead of taking a dive or trying to get the roughing penalty, he just kind of pushed him back like, get away from me.
So here come the Indians with Whittingham in under center. Wide outs to both sides. And he'll drop straight back. Here's the draw, this time to Benson, and he was able to elude a couple of Aces tacklers, but no more than that, because Joe D able to trip him up back to the original line of scrimmage.
So the Aces caught him. The draw play, I tell you, to get the draw play to work, to get any play to work, it's going to get that here.
Well, the conventional plays really aren't doing much for Lawrenceville, so you just wonder, sooner or later, Coach Bobe will go to that bag of tricks and start pulling some of the trick plays out.
Gain of 1 for Benson, the fullback. 6 minutes, just over 6 remaining for here in half number 1. Whittingham drops back, and this time has to elude the Aces rush, but he won't get very far. Who is that? Jason Vaught, number 71, into the game, the sophomore.
Nice pursuit.
Able to drag down Whittingham, who dropped back to pass, then had to scramble from the Aces' pressure, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
It's terrible. You've got 4 down and you play all of it on the same line.
3rd and 10 now for the Indians. 5.5 to play first half. Mount Carmel leads 28-0. Split ends to both sides for Whittingham. Quick pitch. No, it's going to be the reverse to Lockhart. Oh, how about that? Now a reverse pass and tipped around and picked up by Ryan Haywood. It was a double reverse pass. Gabe Williams got a fingertip on it, deflected it away from the wide receiver, and Ryan Haywood has his 6th interception of the year.
Well, that was trouble from the start. He came running off the handoff and looking at a wall white there. How he got outside, I'll never know.
Yeah, Lockhart's lucky he just got the pass off, let alone being dropped for a 15-yard loss.
So Ryan Haywood has yet another interception. Here comes the Aces offense. Give this time to Casburn, who over the left side on the belly picks up about 5, maybe 6 for the senior running back.
Yeah, you'd want Jed to work on those high knees there, but you know, with that guy laying on the ground, he's not going to be able to high knee over top of the guy too much, is he?
Rafferty sets him down with Snow split wide to the right. Going to drop back and pass this time. He's got his receiver. Snow at the first down marker, dives ahead and has just enough for the first down. Needed 7. Got about 8, did Craig Snow, and that's an Aces first down.
Going back to the interception by the Aces, how about that for discipline on defense? Not only did the Aces have one guy back on the trick play, they had 2 guys back expecting that double reverse pass.
Rafferty under center. This time option right to Jed Casburn, who's got running room over the right side. He's got the first down and then some. Finally dragged down at about the 15-yard line. A gain of some 16 yards for Jed Casburn.
Well, Jed really has been running hard. You know, I wasn't there last week with you guys, and I don't know. I heard it was a little bit better maybe without me, but they he really did run hard last week. And looking at the tape, and boy, it's a matter of confidence with Jed, I think.
Snow split wide right. And fumbled snap, and the Indians dive after it, as do the Aces. Mount Carmel will recover. Has that time trouble with the exchange between the center and the quarterback, Chris Rafferty. Josh Horrell and Chris Rafferty, some problems getting the interchange there between center and quarterback.
And you just wonder, Rick, how much that extra appendage for Horrell's having on that today.
This time the give is to the fullback, Swanson, who dives up the middle. Now what do we have? One of the Indians comes out of there with a football, I think. And that's what happened. We fumbled a football. And the Indians have recovered the Aces' first turnover of the ball game.
It's that guy Sam Sanders again right in the middle of it. He somehow got the ball away. And the Aces turned the ball over for the first time this afternoon.
So a Golden Aces turnover as we were threatening inside the 15. And the Indians will now get the football. They'll have the ball on their own 13-yard line, 1st and 10 with 3:47 remaining here in the first half. Whittingham under center. Now is going to try to sweep right. Burbrick's got him, and it's going to be close to a safety. That's inside the 5, I should say. Down at the 4, Burbrick sniffed it out. And Whittingham, you're right, is up slowly. A loss of 8 yards on the play for the quarterback, and Aaron Burbrick the first to get to him.
Whittingham's going to call a timeout just to kind of collect himself here before they run the next play.
So we'll keep it here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 19 with a ball now on the Lawrenceville 5-yard line. So the Indians will have to be careful with any plays happening deep in the backfield because a safety would be in the make for the Golden Aces defense.
You know, one of the things, guys, that's impressed me about the Aces this year is the fact that they just continue to improve week after week. We've seen some teams over the years, you know, they may peak in the preseason and really just kind of coast along week after week. But this year you really see progress from week to week, whether it's on the line or tackling or passing, running, whatever it is. You can see definite progress week after week, which is good.
Well, I think, too, Kevin, from our coach's standpoint, you know, that's what you're trying to do as far as even the rest of this game. I mean, even through the next week's game, through homecoming, you know, you have built-in distractions, and I'm sure those will be things we talk about next week of how our kids will handle. But, again, you want to try to build that crescendo to the end until you're playing your best football at the end of the season. I think traditionally over the last few years, even before I was here, John's teams have done those things, and a lot of that goes to the assistant coaches that he has. They just do a tremendous job each week during individual work, during teamwork and practice.
Out of the Indian timeout, here come the Indians. 3:25 to go first half. Winningham sets them down. Quarterback sneak right up the gut, but Burbrick and Joe D take care of the sneak quickly. You could hear the pads pop up here on that one.
Actually, I think Dunlap's in the quarterback now for Winningham. I don't think Winningham came back off the bench after the timeout.
Yeah, I think you're right, Kevin. You're right. That was the back. Dunlap's actually B.J. Dunlap, 32, is actually a backup running back. And you're right, he is who's carrying the ball now. 2-yard gain for Dunlap. It'll be a 3rd and 11 for the Indians from their own 7. Dunlap under center. Let's see if they try to put it in the air. And a fumbled snap. And he was able to pick it up himself, was Dunlap, and then just dive ahead for maybe a yard. And so that'll bring up a 4th down. They'll definitely have to punt it away now, as it'll be 4th and basically 15. And they're deep in their own territory. Matter of fact, on their own 7-yard line. Now, who's the backup punter, I wonder? Is it Dunlap as well?
Yes.
Yeah, and keep in mind the Aces blocked the last one.
So Dunlap will be forced to punt the ball as well.
Different Dunlap, but...
Here's the punt. Not a very good one. Taken at the 40 by the Aces' Gabe Williams. He's got some running room inside the 30 and then some. And he'll finally be drugged down inside the 20-yard line, make it closer to the 18. So it's a 22-yard return for Gabe Williams, and the Golden Aces going to have great field position with 2:07 remaining here in the first half with a chance to put in another score.
I believe Winningham down there has had an equipment problem, and when they come off the field to huddle up after the timeout, they start looking at his shoulder pads, and I see a couple of the assistant coaches, their new basketball coach down there working on him a little bit with some tape as well. It may just be a shoulder pad problem.
Williams, you remember, had a punt return for touchdown last week. Here's the end around, a reverse to Casper. Has got running room and a blocker in front. Seth Swanson, and it is a touchdown for the Aces. Thanks to the lead blocking of Seth Swanson out front. It was one-on-one, a DB against Swanson, and Swanson makes the key block for the Casburn touchdown. Aces now lead 34-0 here with just under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Well, once again, nice job with Jed that time. Kind of hesitated a little bit. Got the defender to kind of step inside. And boy, when he once who was on the block that time?
Seth Swanson.
Well, once Swanee got him turned inside, it was running to daylight.
Gabe Williams trying to make it 5 for 5 and will not do it with that one. That one misses wide left. But the points will stand. Aces lead 34-0. We're still in the first half. 1:59 to play. Back with more Aces football right after this.
Since being very young, you faced the unexpected, never concerned, knowing your security came from those who loved you most. Soon you took on more risks and started making decisions on your own. Now you're being counted on to help build a secure future, to protect you and your family from the unexpected. Depend on your hometown professional, your independent Pekin insurance agent.
Pekin Insurance.
Your Pekin insurance agent in Mount Carmel is Mike Harris of Harris Insurance Agency.
For the professional electrical service that you deserve, call S.K. Smith Electrical Contractors. S.K. Smith has been providing the Wabash Valley region with commercial, residential, and industrial lighting for over 10 years. S.K. Smith also provides electrical service for farms and oil fields. Our trained and courteous technicians are always there for minor electrical repairs, troubleshooting, or even industrial wiring. Don't trust the safety of your family or co-workers to just anyone. Call S.K. Smith today. S.K. Electric, your fully bonded electrical contractors.
Since 1917, the place to be has been Guy Hadley's Cafe, uptown Mount Carmel. Hadley's lunch and dinner buffet always has something great to eat. Plus, Hadley's menu is packed with dozens and dozens of sandwich platters, full dinners, and appetizers. And while at Hadley's, be sure to try a slice of one of Dot's famous pies. For nearly 80 years now, there's been one constant in Mount Carmel, and that one constant is Guy Hadley's Cafe, where friends meet friends. Hadley's Cafe, 416 Market.
Choosing a cellular company can get confusing, but First Cellular of Southern Illinois makes your choice clear. First Cellular is the only individual cellular company to provide all 24 counties in Southern Illinois as true home coverage. At First Cellular, you'll receive value-added benefits at no additional charge, like 9-cent long distance, the lowest extended roaming rates, and 24-hour customer care. Plus, First Cellular is 100% locally owned and operated, so your money stays here in Southern Illinois. Visit First Cellular's Mount Carmel store today.
Life's pretty good in the wealthy Chicago suburbs. Schools with baseball and soccer fields, new courts for tennis and beach volleyball, even golf carts the cheerleaders drive. State Representative John Jones voted for a plan to give the wealthiest schools even more money. A plan to cut funds for schools in our area 18%. John Jones didn't stand up for the needs of our children. Joe Bob Pierce will put Southern Illinois students first. Joe Bob Pierce for State Representative, putting Southern Illinois first.
Boom, boom. Is 45 Ducatson.
All right, back in Lawrenceville, the ensuing kickoff taken by the Indians at about the 25, returned for about 5 yards, and that is where the Indians will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. And Mount Carmel leading 34-0, thanks to the Jed Casburn 19-yard touchdown jaunt right before the kickoff. And Dunlap, the quarterback, keeps himself on the quarterback keeper. Really, it looks to me like the offensive playbook quite limited with the backup quarterback in there.
And even whenever Winningham was in there, the two best plays they have as Winningham comes back in now. The two best plays they had were the quarterback draw and the quarterback sweep.
So Winningham, as Kevin mentioned, is back into the game, replacing Dunlap, B.J. Dunlap, who had been playing quarterback for the last 3 offensive plays for the Indians. Winningham now back in the game in under center. 1:20 to play, first half. And a give this time, the misdirection sniffed out by Brian Snyder, the running back, was whom? Nick Benson. And he gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. If anything, a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for the Indians. So that's where the Indians will have it. 3rd and 7, ball on their own 34-yard line. Flankers to both sides, Lockhart and Bobe, the wideouts. And Winningham barks out the signals, tries to get the Aces to jump. Now is going to keep and give it on the Scott Couch around the left end. Near the first down marker, but fumbled the ball. How about that? He had near the first down marker, needed to get to the 45, got to the 44, and on the extra effort, got the ball jarred loose, and it's another fumble the Aces recover.
I believe it was Ryan Haywood that time, Kevin, who stepped up and came up with the football again.
Yeah, he did, and Brad Bobe wants a play called dead for lack of forward progress, and the official said no way.
So the Aces will take over with yet another chance to score. 33 seconds to play. Here's the lob to Snow, comes back and catches the football, and he is down to the 16-yard line. A 23-yard pass reception to Craig Snow. Now 25 seconds remain.
The Aces have all 3 timeouts.
So Snow makes the first down reception. Here come the Aces. 1st and 10 from the 16 of the Indians. Here's Swanson up the middle, down inside the 5 to the 9, where he'll be brought down there.
Are they going to call time or just let the...
Well, about a 6-yard gain for Swanson.
I think John's going to let it run out.
And what are we going to do? 5, now 4, and yeah, the Aces are not going to run another play. They're threatening to score inside the 10, but they're comfortably in front 34-0, and Aces coach John Hart, for lack of a better term, calls off the dogs.
Yeah, the fans might not necessarily like that, but I'll tell you what, that's why so many people respect John. I mean, he could have easily used those 3 timeouts to, more likely than not, easily punch it in for another 6, but like Rob said, they just called the dogs off, and who wouldn't be happy with a 34-point halftime lead?
That's where we stand. Mount Carmel 34, Lawrenceville nothing. Back with the halftime statistics and our answer to Aces Trivia right after this.
Electric wires are too high to touch.
Not. Overhead wires are insulated.
Not. Wood does not conduct electricity. Not. What you won't hurt you.
Take care around electricity.
3rd
Thursday night is a night full of sports on Mount Carmel's own TV 12. First at 7 o'clock, catch up with Aces head football coach John Hart. He talks Aces football on Coach's Corner. He talks about last week's previous opponent and looks ahead to next week's foe. Follow that up with Fighting Illini football and Lou Tepper on The Lou Tepper Show at 7:30. After that, at 8 o'clock, it's a variety of Aces and Warriors sports. Thursday night, a night of sports on TV 12.
Tired of the same old room? Want something new and different? Call Carl Berber Construction. Carl Berber Construction has been in the business of building and remodeling for over 30 years. Looking for new cabinets for your kitchen? Berber Construction can custom build your cabinets and install them for you. Wanting to change a garage to a family room or wanting more space? Needing to add a room? Call and they can give you the look you've been waiting for your home or business. KB Construction 298-2421, a proud ACES sponsor. Committed to quality. It's a pretty simple statement, but at Wabash General Hospital, it means so much more. Committed to quality is Wabash General's promise to stay abreast of modern medical treatment and technology, provide kind and compassionate care, and maintain the high standards of medical excellence that the community expects and deserves. Wabash General provides modern medical technology, a highly skilled staff, and a commitment to our community to offer quality, compassionate care close to home. That's Wabash General Hospital, Mount Carmel.
Back in Lawrenceville, Rob Blackman, Kevin Madden, Rick Johnston, where the Golden Aces lead the Lawrenceville Indians on Indian homecoming. 34-0 is our score at halftime. Time for the halftime first.
When are they going to play this game back on TV tonight, Rob?
6 o'clock tonight on Channel 12. That's right. Everyone within one block of Market Street is 6th Street's hearing this, so yeah, 6 o'clock tonight, Channel 12, and again 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Here's your halftime statistics wrap brought to you by Dallas Consulting. Jed Casburn leading the way for Mount Carmel on the ground, 8 carries, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Justin Swanson, 7 carries, 32 yards. Josh Keepus, 2 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown. Chris Rafferty's had a tough time today. He's tripped himself up a couple times, been sacked one time as well, so his offensive statistics running-wise not very good. 6 carries for negative 16 yards. Through the air, though, Chris has been superb. He is 6 of 8 currently for 90 yards and a touchdown. So that means he is 15 yards away from surpassing the 1,000-yard passing mark here in this 96 season, as he is again 6 of 8 for 90 yards, needing only 105 coming into today to reach the 1,000-yard marker. Craig Snow, 2 catches for 31 yards. Justin Lovelace, 1 catch for 10 yards. Brandon Grant's 2 catches, 23 yards, and a touchdown, that being the 1-yard reception. And Jed Casburn has caught a pass for 26 yards as well. Aces have been penalized 2 times for 15 yards. They've racked up 14 first downs and scored a total of 5 touchdowns. For the Indians, it's been slow going through the ground and through the air. Josh Winningham, the Indians quarterback, 8 carries for 7 yards. Scott Couch, 3 carries, negative 4 yards. And 3 carries for 1 yard. And also Josh Whitmer, 1 carry, negative 5 yards. And B.J. Dunlap, 5 carries for a total of 5 yards. The Indians.
In Wabash County, people for first-class banking. The Bank of Mount Carmel, an independent, community-owned institution with a time-honored tradition of excellent service. People know the Bank of Mount Carmel is a full-service bank, offering its customers the best and flexible loans, free checking, even trust services. And visiting Bank of Mount Carmel is always a pleasure because their employees are knowledgeable and courteous. If you haven't already, you should get to know the friendly folks at Bank of Mount Carmel at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
Since being very young, you faced the unexpected, never concerned, knowing your security came from those who loved you most. Soon you took on more risks and started making decisions on your own. Now you're being counted on to help build a secure future, to protect you and your family from the unexpected. Depend on your hometown professional, your independent Pekin insurance agent.
Pekin Insurance.
Your Pekin Insurance agent in Mount Carmel is Mike Harris of Harris Insurance Agency.
Kiefer Brothers Construction is proud to announce they are now a Star Building System dealer. If you're planning on building a new building, plan on talking to Kiefer Brothers Construction. They have beautiful solutions to your building problems, like helping you choose the Star Building System that will give your building the distinctive image you're looking for, from colonial to contemporary, with brick, glass, stone, or other accent materials. A building system that will meet your exact requirements. They can put your business in business fast. Call Kiefer Brothers Construction today at 262-5108.
Mount Carmel High School students, you don't have to go deep for the best selection and savings on class rings. Just march down the field to Gottman's Custom Jewelry, 422 Market. Gottman sells exclusive art-carved class rings with dozens of classic styles and modern designs. Personalize your ring with hundreds of options at no extra cost. Plus, check out Gottman's selection on gold change and Seiko and Citizens watches. So don't wait for the 2-minute warning. Get to Gottman's Jewelry for your art-carved class ring, gold and diamond jewelry, watches, and giftware today. Gottman's Custom Jewelry, 422 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
Flag, though.
That is. And the funny thing, none of the Mount Carmel fans even acknowledged it. They just kind of
ignored him.
Kept watching the...
See, they took John's lead there. They took John's lead at the end of the first half. We don't need any more. We don't need any more.
Let's just kick back and relax. Well, the Indians, the good news is they will get the ball to start the second half. That's if you're an Indian fan. Gabe Williams to kick it off. We're ready to start half number 2, 34-0 here in Lawrenceville.
This is a result of the play of the game.
Yeah, Williams boots it away as one of the Indians runs onto the kickoff team late. 40-yard boot taken down at the 20-yard line and breaks one tackle. Now we're going to have a penalty flag. And it was about a 7-yard return, but that might all be nullified as a penalty flag thrown into the play late. On the return, Scott Couch for the Indians.
You know, I'm glad Dick Deese doesn't have anything to throw during a basketball game. He's got a heck of an arm. He threw that flag at least 20 yards.
Think he might throw something at you from time to time?
No. I like Dick. And Dick and I get along real well. I think he's a good official.
Oh, no, that guy wanted us to announce a license plate? Oh, he's talking to, the people beside us. I'm like...
Downtown in front of the courthouse. We have a car to be moved.
This guy's got me hemmed in. I'm thinking, I'm not going to help you. I don't know. No one in Mount Carmel can drive over here and help you out here. 10-yard holding penalty against the Indians on the return, so that'll push them back to their own 15-yard line. That's where they'll take over to start the second half. Josh Whittingham still a quarterback. Nick Benson and Scott Couch the halfbacks in the pro set, with Lockhart and Bobe the wideouts. In under center goes Whittingham. He'll drop straight back, going to try to pass. Here comes Burbick on a blitz, blocked out of the play, and there's a pass that was caught. Ryan Haywood dove in front to make the interception, and it slips through his hands and right into the hands of Luke Lockhart. That is an Indian first down of 11 yards.
Nice little play that time by Whittingham, rolling out to buy some time, and nice job by Lockhart of keeping his at least 1 foot in bounds.
Excellent job by the backs that time, picking up the pursuit of Aaron Burbick up front also.
Burbick came roaring in there on the blitz, and one of the backs, I think it was Scott Couch, picked him up and held him out of there just long enough. Nice play. So it'll be first down for the Indians now from their own 26, an 11-yard first down reception by Lockhart. Whittingham in under center, going to try a pass again. This time, no, the draw play to B.J. Dunlap. He's got running room, and he's out to a first down and more. And there's going to be more yardage tacked on for a face mask called against the Aces. So it's a 12-yard first down run for Dunlap, and it's going to turn into about a 25, 27-yard gain after the face mask penalty's tacked on. And that's exactly what it is.
Nice execution that time by Lawrenceville. And the fullback that time didn't even look like he had the ball. Nice job.
Yeah, the first 2 plays of the second half have been by far the best executed by the Indians so far this afternoon.
Indians now threatening. They're in Aces territory for only the second time tonight. They're at the second time today, I should say. They're at the Aces 47-yard line. And now I can't see because the pole's right in my way. Whittingham under center. Big telephone light pole, I should say, right here on the 50-yard line. Whittingham drops back. He's going to let her fly, and the receiver, Lockhart, had pulled up short. I think Luke might have thought he was supposed to run a short route, and Whittingham threw it deep over everyone's head as if he were to be sprinting along the sideline.
Yeah, I think 2 different playbooks that time between Lockhart and Whittingham, because like you said, Whittingham just dropped back and let it fly, and Lockhart, meanwhile, was about 6-7 yards off the ball.
And he had pulled up right here on the Lawrenceville sideline. Indians traveling left to right here in the third quarter. So it's an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, ball on the Aces 47. Lawrenceville threatening. They trail in this one 34-0. It's been all Mount Carmel in the first half. Whittingham under center with a tight end to the right side. That is Whitmer. He's going to drop back and pass again. He's looking for the back out of the backfield. Now just throws it into the Aces sideline. Threw it well over the head of Scott Couch, the intended receiver. He's trying to throw it to him in the backfield, but covered up quickly by Sam DeVue. And he really had no one to throw it to.
Well, I think he was trying to get it to Tom Price sitting on top of, of Lovelace's van over there. Tom almost came up with a catch.
But really a nice job by Sam DeVue of recognition of that play. I mean, he read it from the get-go, and Whittingham really had no choice but to try to find Tom Price over there on that van.
11:09 to play, third quarter. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Indians from the Aces 47. Whittingham under center, drops straight back, looking for somebody to throw to this time. Going back to the left side and just out of the reach of the intended receiver, number 21, Jeff Bobe. That will bring up a 4th down and 10 for Lawrenceville.
And I am glad that, Rob, that it was you that made the comment about the deliverance thing, because I took a lot of grief last year from the Cattlemen's Association, Wabash County, and Jed Trapp over a couple things I said in last year's game that I do apologize for officially, I'd like to add.
It was just scary. They run around with no shirts on. Playing, I mean, this was pregame. This wasn't mess around time. This was pregame. Here's the boot by Whittingham. Not a bad punt. Drives the Aces Zeb Marcotte back inside his 10. Now 5. Now it's going to roll into the end zone and be a touchback. Marcotte looked as if he wanted to return it, but let it go. The Aces, couple different new return men on the field from Mount Carmel. Look like Zeb Marcotte and I believe John Baker deep for the Aces, as opposed to the normal return crew of Jed Casburn and Gabe Williams. Nonetheless, it rolls into the end zone. The Aces will take over on their own 20-yard line, the first offensive series here of the second half. So here come the Aces. And the first play from scrimmage in the second half goes for not a lot. Justin Swanson, the fullback, right up the gut, picks up basically no yardage.
Once again, we're giving people different looks to prepare against here, Rob, with a single back set.
So here comes Rafferty in under center. Swanson, the only running back, and this time we've got motion, and this time the wide receiver, Craig Snow, was out of the gate too quickly, flanked out to the left side.
See, that's Sanders again, and he should get flagged for that. I mean, he came across the line and just decked Chris, and, you know, there's no need for that.
Yeah, Sanders, the defensive lineman, he saw the movement out at the wide receiver position from Snow and then just sprinted across the line and knocked Chris Rafferty down, hit him right under the chin. But the flag is 5 yards against the Aces for illegal motion.
I mean, there's one thing to jump so the official knows that you were drawn off, but there's another thing to fire across the line and just take a free hit at the quarterback.
2nd and 16 for the Aces. Rafferty to throw, and this time he's got his receiver, Jed Casburn, a diving reception in front of Whittingham. Gets the Aces back up near the first down marker. They'll be about 3 yards shy. A gain of 13 on the pass play that time to the Aces, Jed Casburn. So a 3rd, and they'll call it 3 yards for the Aces. Interesting with that 13-yard pass, Chris Rafferty is now just 2 yards shy of throwing for 1,000 yards this season. Needs only 2 more yards. 3rd and 3, ball in their own 27 for the Aces. Option right to Casburn, who's got some running room along the right side, has a first down and then some. And he's out to the 39-yard line, a gain of about 12 yards for the Golden Aces.
A nice block by Craig. He just took his guy right to the turf.
That's one of the things that Craig does do a nice job of. He stays on those blocks out there. He keeps his feet moving and really does a nice job shadow blocking.
First down for the Aces. Ball on the 39 of Lawrence, or their own 39, I should say. 1st and 10, 9:36 remaining, third quarter. Rafferty, quick sweep this time to keep us. He's along the right sideline, tripped up after a gain of some 5 or 6 yards. Justin Swanson out there to help block for the Aces, as was the front line of Steckler and Brandon Grant, the tight end.
But you know, Kevin, that's almost not fair out there. No, most time a 6'8" kid that weighs 210, 215 is going against a 5'8" smaller guy there most of the time every week.
Here come the Aces. Ball on the Aces 45. Snow split right. Loveless wide left is given. Swanson is over midfield and into Indian territory as he goes ahead for an 8-yard gain, Justin Swanson, and it's another Aces first down. Their 16th of the ball game. Again in the one-back set, as Rick alluded to. Now they switch back into two backs as Keepus is now back there. Grant is the slot man to the right. Snow split wide right. Loveless split wide left. Swanson the fullback behind Rafferty. And he's going to put it in the air, and he's got Grant, but I think it was partially deflected by Nick Benson, and then in and out of the hands of Grant, incomplete.
Boy, if Chris would have just put a little bit more air on that ball, well, that was 6 points.
And even though Benson tipped it, Brandon's still almost able to come up with another great catch.
2nd and 10 for the Aces. Ball on the Indian 47. This time the fullback trap, and barreling ahead is Justin Swanson. Penalty flag.
There's your flag right there.
Flying into the play.
There's your flag you're talking about, Kevin. Dick's pointing at the kid, warning him right here.
Yeah.
So they're going to hold the spot, which was a gain of about 8 yards.
Against Winningham.
Yeah. Yeah, Winningham and Sanders both have taken their shots on Chris this afternoon, and finally they get flagged for one of them.
So that'll move them back 15 more yards. Illegal roughness against the Indians, as both the young men that Kevin and Rick mentioned took cheap shots at Chris Rafferty, and that time they got caught.
And really, if the Aces punch it in here, you just soon get Chris and the rest of the starters, the majority of them, out.
Quick sweep this time. The quick pitch to Casburn, right side, got running room, he's got a first down, and then a little bit more, and Jed Casburn has a first down and then some.
Now Sanders is the Lawrenceville player down hurt, trailing the play.
Casburn down near the 10-yard line, it looks like. Yeah, the 10, so a 15-yard gain for Jed. He's now got 126 yards rushing here this afternoon on just 10 carries. Scored a couple of touchdowns as well. And the Aces will have it. It looks like really the ball's actually on the 10. They do have the chains stretched to the goal line, so they must be able to get a first down without scoring, but it would have to be inches. The ball's on about the 10-yard line and 1/2 maybe. So the Aces can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but it would just be a matter of inches. Injured Lawrenceville Indian is Sam Sanders, number 78, defensive tackle. And Chris Rafferty, as they walk Sanders off the field, now gets the Aces offense ready. Snow split wide left. Grant at the tight end right. Full bone this time, now behind Chris Rafferty, with Duke Hodson in the game for the first time today. He is at the left halfback position. Rafferty gives this time to Swanson, who dives ahead. No, instead Chris kept himself on the option. I got fooled that time, and he's down inside the 5 to about the 3. 7-yard pickup for Chris Rafferty. So it'll be a 2nd and 4. Again, the Aces can get a first down without scoring, but it would be a matter of inches.
And Chris just came out. I'm not sure if he's shaken up somewhat because he was kind of slow on coming off.
So Ryan Haywood now quarterbacking the Aces, and the snap fumbled immediately, but Haywood got his hands back on it, and the Aces will hold
Lawrenceville says
possession.
Lawrenceville says they
have. Oh, wait, do the Indians have it? I thought I saw Ryan get his claws back on it. No, we lost it. So how about that? The Aces have to switch quarterbacks. Ryan Haywood comes in to replace Chris Rafferty. And trouble with the center quarterback exchange, and the Aces turn it over inside the Indian 5. So the Lawrenceville Indians will get it back. They stopped the Aces this time, or should I say the Aces stopped themselves. 7:44 to play, third quarter. And the Indians will have the football on their own 4-yard line. And now we're going to move it out because the Aces jumped off sides on defense.
There goes J.C. Warnken that time, jumped off sides.
And that's what it's going to be, a 5-yard infraction against Mount Carmel. That will walk it up now to the 9s to give the Indians some breathing room. 6th penalty of the game for the Aces, totaling 55 yards. You're right, J.C. working in at defensive end for the Aces. Whittingham in under center. Long count, finally gets the snap off to give to the second back through. He fumbles the ball, and the Aces are going to get it back.
Jake Lewis, I believe, on the recovery.
Jake Lewis recovers the fumble. Scott Couch, the second back through, and he fumbles the football, and the Aces are about to get it back. So a couple of fumbles by both clubs, and now Mount Carmel will have the football thanks to the recovery from Jake Lewis. So here comes the Aces offense. Let's see who's on the quarterback. Ryan Haywood, the quarterback for the Aces. Zeb Marcotte, the wide receiver, split wide left. And Haywood is now doing the quarterbacking duties. And he is sacked immediately, was trying to run some type of running play to the right, but guess who? Sam Sanders in the backfield again. And he throws Ryan Haywood for a 5-yard loss. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 15 for Mount Carmel.
16-yard line.
Mount Carmel will have it, ball on the Indian 16. 2nd and 15. Give the second back through Josh Keepus. He's down inside the 10 to the 9. 7-yard pickup for the junior running back. As he is down to the 9-yard line, just inside the 10, basically.
And really, Lawrenceville looks to be beginning to lose their composure somewhat off the ball that time. Brandon Grant got mixed up with B.J. Dunlap, and Dunlap gave him a little extra shove or two than was necessary after the whistle blew.
Marcotte split wide left for the Aces. This time the give is to whom? The fullback, Justin Swanson. And he's inside the 5, right about to the 5 is where they're going to mark him. 4-yard gain for Swanson. 52 yards rushing for Justin today on 11 carries. The conference's 4th leading rusher coming into this afternoon. 6:20 to go, third quarter. Mount Carmel leads 34-0. Aces threatening to score again with Ryan Haywood at quarterback, Duke Hodson a reserve, and at halfback also Zeb Marcotte at wide receiver, another reserve. And it's option left this time. The pitch to Keepus, trying to get outside, and he will score a touchdown. Josh Keepus for the touchdown.
So what, Marcotte did a nice job that time of not clipping, don't you think, Kevin?
Yeah,
he was in a situation where he very easily could have. Did a nice job of just keeping his hands up and not making a mistake.
Right, 9 times out of 10, you'll see a kid go ahead and make the mistake, and really out of reaction if nothing else. But Zeb, like you said, Rick, did a nice job of just laying off.
What do you think, windshield here, fellas?
Josh Keepus, 4-yard touchdown run. Can Gabe Williams kick it to the parking lot? We're about to find out. So we're talking about a windshield here. Here's the snap. Hold by Peter. Williams' kick is long enough for a field goal, but not long enough for a windshield. 41-0. Mount Carmel leads at 6 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Back with more Aces football right after this.
When Security Bank says we're your bank for life, we mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
Robert Walters Furniture Company has been serving the Wabash County area since 1868. At Robert Walters, you'll discover unbeatable prices every day store-wide on the furniture designs that you desire. We carry a complete line of quality name-brand furniture that will delightfully fill any home. At Robert Walters Furniture, we take pride in working with our customers by offering 0% interest for 1 year and a convenient layaway plan. Visit Robert Walters Furniture in downtown Mount Carmel, where shopping is made easy.
Gabe Williams to kick it off after the Josh Keepus run, taken at the 20-yard line by Luke Lockhart. He's got some running room along the left side and back up to the 44-yard line. A 24-yard return for Luke Lockhart after the 40-yard boot by Gabe Williams. And the Indians will start it off with pretty good field position at their own 44-yard line. 5:53 to go, third quarter. Mount Carmel in front, 41-0. And it's been all Mount Carmel in this one. Aces have had a couple of opportunities to score that they've not taken advantage of late in the first half. They chose to just let the clock run out, and then to start the third quarter, fumbled deep in Indian territory when we were threatening to score. So the Indians lucky to be down only 41-0. Whittingham rolling out to the right. He's going to put on a rush, throws it up high, and then just throws it out of bounds. As Joe D over here, along with the Golden Aces, Jake Lewis, hustling him out of bounds. And Whittingham just threw it up for grabs, and it goes out of bounds. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 Indians.
I think what you'll see here is we're going to basically keep our unit intact. We've rotated, I think, 3 new people in on the D line, and I would imagine that's what you'll see John try to do here is rotate 2 or 3 new people in, keeping the main people involved, and rotating young people in with some of the older kids we have.
Indians will have it 2nd and 10, 5:45 to go, third quarter. Ball on the Indian 44-yard line. Whittingham, yet another passing down as he drops back. He's got his receiver, but drilled there by Ryan Peter. The pass was high for Jeff Bobe, and then Peter put on the hit and broke him in half, and Bobe can't hold on.
And really, Rick, it's a lot like we talked about last week. I mean, these kids still need their reps in game-time situations. I mean, it's good to get them in practice, but still, in real-time, game-time situations, this defense still needs a certain number of reps just to keep sharp.
Well, you hate to talk about it, too, but this is the time of year you don't want somebody to go down either, Kevin, because you're getting, a couple of weeks, we're into playoffs, and you don't want that situation to pop up either. So you're trying to walk that tightrope, right, which you're kind of, it's a catch-22 situation.
3rd and 10 for the Indians. Whittingham sets them down. Now under center, drop back, going to put it in the air again, and throws it over here for his receiver Lockhart, and just out of his reach here on the near sideline, and that will bring up a 4th down for the Indians, 4th and 10 from their own 44, and looks like the punting team coming on for Lawrenceville.
Well, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it looked to me like Brian Snyder maybe flexed a little bit, dropped back off the line of scrimmage maybe a yard, and he really was up in Whittingham's face that time.
So Whittingham punted away. Back deep for the Aces looks like John Baker and Zeb Marcotte. Punt bounces over the head of Baker, is rolling towards the end zone, and it is taken there by the Indians, or stopped, I should say, down by the Indians at the 2-yard line of Mount Carmel.
And Whittingham came within, I bet less than 6 inches, and kicking that ball right into one of his linemen. I mean, it just barely cleared the line of scrimmage, and then he got a fortunate hop.
A low-line drive that nets 54 yards, and the Aces offense, pinned to deep, will have to take the ball over.
Well, you hate to tell your punt returners to keep your body in front of the ball, the ground ball, but...
Ball on their own 2-yard line for the Aces, and Ryan Haywood, the junior signal caller, now out to run the offense. Give this time the second back through. We're going to have a safety. It's very close. The Indians are not going to get a safety. No. The ball is on the half-yard line. Josh Keepus was stuffed in the backfield, and they say forward progress to about the half-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, he broke the play on the goal line going the other way. Usually you talk about breaking the play on the goal line for a touchdown, but that time he broke it enough to prevent a safety.
So the Indians defense trying to ruin the shutout. Ball on the half-yard line. Ryan Haywood in under center. This time they give to Swanson, the fullback, and he gives the Aces breathing room as he's out to the 7. Here's Justin Swanson. So that will bring up now a 3rd and about 4. I'll say make it 3rd and 5, actually, for the Aces from their own 7-yard line. Brian Haywood under center. This time they give to Swanson, who barrels ahead to the 10 and will go no further. He'll be a couple of yards shy of a 1st down. And so the Aces will be forced to punt now deep in their own territory. They'll have to bring on the punt team. I take that back. We're going to go for it with a 4th and 2 from our own 10. Haywood under center. Option right. Haywood keeps himself, and he'll have enough for the 1st down and then some. So how about that? 4th and 2 from your own 10, and the Aces come up with a big play. Ryan Haywood dives ahead to the 18-yard line. That is enough for a 1st down.
With your 2nd unit.
Woo.
man, is that a stake through the heart or what?
Wow. First down for the Aces. Their 21st first down of this ball game. Haywood under center, now breathing room. Marcotte split wide left. Some confusion. The ball dropped on the ground. Haywood picked it up. Looked like the fullback trap to Swanson. Someone went the wrong way. And Haywood just picks it up and keeps the ball at the original line of scrimmage.
You know, I don't like the ball laying at his feet with people diving in there at it, you know?
No. Ace is able to retain possession, though, and Haywood now back up under center again. And with 3:14 remaining in the third quarter, Ryan Haywood barks out the play. 2nd and 10 from the Aces 12. And this time the give is to Swanson. He's ahead for a couple, maybe 2 yards, they'll say, for Justin Swanson.
Fellows, we're only 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. We got a lot of football left here, Rob.
Don't remind me. 14 carries, 63 yards for Swanson. Some new faces on the front line, it looks like, for Mount Carmel. We'll try to get you their names. Number 70. Here's Keepus over the right side. He's got running room and then some. And it's a 12-yard gain for Keepus and an Aces first down.
And that play's been open all afternoon. I mean, it's like 5 yards before you even see a Lawrenceville defender getting close.
You saying my mother could run up in there?
I don't know your mom, but she could.
She's a pretty tough woman.
I heard your mama can run.
She's a pretty tough woman.
It's 2:25 to play, third quarter. Aces with the football. Ryan Haywood under center. The give this time to the second man through. I think that was Keepus again, and he picks up a couple. Oh, that was, I take that back. That was not Keepus. That was Duke Hodson, wasn't it? For about a 3-yard gain. And Duke, yeah.
I know that Tom Price is now not an eligible receiver. He is down off the van.
2nd and 7 for the Aces. Ball on the Lawrenceville, their own 33. Quick pitch this time to Hodson. Dives ahead, kind of lost his footing, strung out there well by the Indians. And Hodson dives to get back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7 now for Mount Carmel. Haywood takes the play from the sideline. Aces, of course, working out of the no huddle. Marcotte split wide left. Now Haywood under center. And the give to the fullback instead of the option. Haywood keeps himself, and he's got the first down, and then some. He's right at the marker. It'll be close as he pulled it from the belly of the fullback, Swanson, and raced ahead, and they're going to give him a first down. First down run by Ryan Haywood. Minute 19 to play. Third quarter, Mount Carmel leading 41-0 here in Lawrenceville's homecoming. Marcotte split wide left. Grant the tight end on the right side. Give this time is to Swanson. He's tripped up and upended right at the 45-yard line. 4-yard gain for Swanson. And that is where the Aces will have it now with under a minute to play on their own 45 with a 2nd and 6 facing the Aces. Haywood under center and gives it to Swanson, but he's going nowhere. Snuffed out well that time by Nathan Hill of the Lawrenceville Indians. Actually about a loss of 1 for Swanson. Chris Gray also in on the play for the Indians, so that will bring up a 3rd and 9 with 22 seconds to play in the first half. Haywood, let's see if we'll get the snap off before the third quarter's done. Now 15 seconds. Yes, we are. As Haywood moves in under center. Drops back. He's going to put it in the air. He's got his receiver. Grant, but picked off by the Indians. Who is that over there? That is B.J. Dunlap on the interception of Ryan Haywood. And so the Indians will get the ball back thanks to the interception by B.J. Dunlap with 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Well, Ryan's one of those kids that technique-wise, you probably wouldn't put him on a highlight tape to show your younger kids on quarterbacking skills. He's just a guy that has a ton of athletic ability and gets things done and makes a lot of things happen. And that time I think one of the coaches were talking to him about maybe his technique a little bit on that throw, Rob.
So the Indians will take over with just 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Whittingham's going to drop straight back, now flushed out of the pocket. Here comes Jesse Anderson, had a chance at him, didn't get him, and now he throws it over the head of Lockhart, incomplete, and that is how quarter number 3 will come to a close. We played 3 quarters of football. Mount Carmel leads Lawrenceville 41-0. Back to Lawrenceville in just a moment. For the ideal location on your next home, your search is now over. Greenbrier is a unique single-family residential subdivision developed by Jim Fry and Larry Tedford. Greenbrier is located in the 2000 block of College Drive and consists of 23 parcels nestled on 8 rolling acres near Wabash Valley College. All lots contain at least 12,000 square feet. Each site offers concrete sidewalks, city water, sewer, electricity, natural gas, and cable TV. For more information, contact Mundy Real Estate Agency at 263-3131 or 262-7496.
Something big has just arrived at Hardee's.
Hey, boy. Run tell them the toast is ready.
Introducing the Texas Toast Bacon Cheeseburger from Hardee's. A quarter pound of sizzling beef, melted cheese, and bacon wedged between thick slabs of grilled Texas toast. Only at Hardee's. What will they think of next? How about the Texas Toast Breakfast Sandwich with ham, bacon, egg, and melted cheese?
Life's pretty good in the wealthy Chicago suburbs. Schools with baseball and soccer fields, new courts for tennis and beach volleyball, even golf carts the cheerleaders drive. State Representative John Jones voted for a plan to give the wealthiest schools even more money. A plan to cut funds for schools in our area 18%. John Jones didn't stand up for the needs of our children. Joe Bob Pierce will put Southern Illinois students first. Joe Bob Pierce for State Representative, putting Southern Illinois first.
Back in Lawrenceville, time to start quarter number 4, where the Aces lead the Indians 41-0. Rob Blackman, Kevin Madden, Rick Johnston. I apologize up front for the play-by-play. Let's say a bit rusty, as old Rob. I haven't done play-by-play in a couple of years. Old Scott Allen, a lot better at that than I am, but hopefully you've enjoyed the broadcast here today. Mount Carmel comfortably in front. Lawrenceville 2nd and 10 with a ball in their own 41. All this set up by the B.J. Dunlap interception of Ryan Haywood right before the third quarter came to a close. And here's Winningham. This time the draw play to the fullback, Nick Benson, and he's back to the original line of scrimmage. Benson's had a tough time today, 4 carries for just 1 total yard. Again, some Aces youngsters will try to get their names for you as they shuffle them in and out and get some of the second and third teamers some playing time. For the Aces, I do see Sam DeVue is still in the game for Mount Carmel, has his Ryan Peter, although Jesse Anderson into the game at a D-line position has his Matt Tomlinson. A fresh face, Zeb Marcotte here at defensive back. And let's see, it looks like Jeff Tomlinson in at linebacker for the Aces as well, along with Jared Steckler, and that is Jeff Tomlinson. Winningham drops straight back, tries to get his receiver, and he's got him hit well by Marcotte, upended the wide receiver Melvin Newland. There's a flag down. He was hit right at the marker. Great catch by Newland to hold on, a nice hit by Marcotte as well.
It's all going to come back, though.
And it's not going to matter. It would have not been a first down. It would have been about 1 yard short, but a great catch is nullified because the Indians have an illegal receiver downfield.
But yeah, it was, like you said, Rob, a great catch by Newland. He took the hit and was able to hang on. He was hit in midair, then came crashing down, and through all that was able to hang on. But the Indians shoot themselves in the foot, and it's going to be 3rd and very long now.
So who's this into the game from Mount Carmel? I believe Jason Vaught, number 70. Is that correct? He's into the game at the D-line for the Aces. So the 5-yard penalty walks them back, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 15 for the Indians. 3rd and 15 for the Indians. The quarterback Winningham in under center. Ball on the Indians' own 37-yard line. Winningham drops straight back. Rush given by the Aces. Sean Thacker's got his hands on him, and Sean Thacker has got his first quarterback sack of the year. Sean Thacker from the nose tackle position drops Winningham for a huge loss back inside the 30, down about the 28-yard line.
Well, that 2.5-step drop that we're using, you know, our corners are really walking up and daring to throw deep, and we've got people, 9 people right up here tight.
Yeah, that time Winningham actually had a couple of seconds to try to find somebody, and still he couldn't.
Winningham will have to punt it away. Nice punt, drives the receiver Oliver Ryan over his head and will finally roll out of bounds at the 22-yard line. A 50-yard punt for the punter, Josh Winningham, and kicked it clear over the head of the new return man, Oliver Ryan, and the Aces will take over at their own 22. And that is where we'll see who comes out on the Aces offensive side this time. With 10:14 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Aces headed to their 7th win of the season. They'll win the North Egypt Conference outright with this victory. Even a loss next week to Olney would still guarantee the Aces an outright North Egypt Conference victory. Or championship, I should say. Their 10th in 11 years. Looks like Jason List into the game up front for the Golden Aces. We'll try to get you all the names of the youngsters that are in here in just a moment. Ryan Haywood to give this time the second back through. Duke Hodgson, who scored his first career touchdown last week against Carmel. And Hodgson is up over the 25 to about the 26. Maybe the 27. They keep moving those sticks, so a 5-yard gain for the Dukester.
Well, I tell you what, it's just been a great afternoon weather.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, if you're at home back in Mount Carmel, cleaning your garage out, got the radio on, you got a day.
Perfect. Under 10 minutes to play in this one. Ryan Haywood under center with his younger brother Brad Haywood, the fullback, who gets the call. First carry of the day for Brad Haywood, and he is up to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards for Brad Haywood, just a freshman. We mentioned his name before, talked a lot about him last week. If you notice, Coach, you got a new helmet. Got a new helmet Wednesday for practice, but it's already yellow again. He's already chipped the paint up again.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about how much he plays, because he doesn't play a lot.
Yeah. He got him a brand new helmet, and he's already chipped it all up, and it's got yellow all over it. Josh Keepus breaks it away, and he's up near midfield, and then fumbled the football, but I think Mount Carmel got back on top of it.
I think we had our entire backfield about 20 yards deep that time in the secondary with nobody to hit, Kevin.
They're just looking for someone to block, and they figured, well, there's no one to block. I guess I'll hop on the fumble.
Keepus, an 11-yard carry, then fumbled the ball. It might have been Marcotte was able to recover the fumble from Mount Carmel, so we do fumble the football, but lucky enough to get it back, and the ball on our own 46-yard line.
It's a good thing Zeb's got those gloves on.
That's right.
You know, day like today, day like today, that's good. Is that like chrome on a car?
I wonder, you see that in the college and pro levels, they all wear the gloves now on warm, sunny days. I thought the original use of the gloves was to keep your hands warm. 8:41 to play. Fourth quarter, give this time. No, Haywood keeps himself after faking the fullback give, and he stopped for a 2-yard loss. Is Ryan Haywood on the option play. Well, Brad Haywood kept saying, Coach, you got to give me a nickname for my yellow helmet. Give me a nickname on the radio. And I can't think of one other than
we got a couple, but we can't say that.
The mellow fella whose helmet is yellow.
And
that's not a really good banana head. Yeah, let's do that. That's a lot easier. Haywood, Ryan Haywood under center, option left, gives the pitch to Keepus, who's got running room along the left side. He's up past midfield and then some to the Indians' 44-yard line. That is a carry of some 15, 17 yards for Josh Keepus.
And that play doesn't work that good in the walkthrough.
Josh Keepus, 9 carries, 99 yards. He is about to have his first 100-yard game as a running back at the varsity level. He needs one more yard. Ryan Haywood this time will give Keepus just that opportunity, and Josh Keepus, after the 4-yard carry to the Indians' 40-yard line, now has 103 yards rushing. Josh Keepus's first 100-yard game as a rusher at the varsity level. The junior halfback. Marcotte split wide right. Keepus in the slot to the near side. 7:22 to play. And this time the give is to Duke Hodgson, who breaks it up over the left side, has running room. 10-5 touchdown. Duke Hodgson from 40 yards away, and the Dukester has his second career TD. This one, a 40-yard jaunt. So Duke Hodgson over the left side, busted it big. Good to see that senior taking advantage of his playing time, and he's got a 40-yard touchdown, and Mount Carmel now leads 47-0.
I believe Jesse Anderson is going to attempt the point after here, I believe.
So Jesse Anderson on to try the extra point and tip. Ryan Peter to hold. So 7-11 remaining. Fourth quarter. Anderson straight on kicker. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. It's 48-0. Mount Carmel leads Lawrenceville. 7-11 to play, fourth quarter. Did that get a fan or a windshield?
Did I call that, Kevin, or what? The first half I called. I said the guy, well, I actually said his wife, sitting next to the car would knock that away.
We'll take a break. Aces lead at 48-0. Back with more in just a moment.
You can be a winner with a First National Bank Visa card, 8.9% APR, no annual fee, and the credit decision is made locally by the bank's credit department. Local folks providing great service at a great price. Just a 2-minute application process, and within 2 weeks, you can have the lowest credit card rate in the area, bar none. Stop in today or call the First National Bank across from Target Mount Carmel and on Main Street, Allendale, member FDIC.
For the professional electrical service that you deserve, call S.K. Smith Electrical Contractors. S.K. Smith has been providing the Wabash Valley region with commercial, residential, and industrial lighting for over 10 years. S.K. Smith also provides electrical service for farms and oil fields. Our trained and courteous technicians are always there for minor electrical repairs, troubleshooting, or even industrial wiring. Don't trust the safety of your family or co-workers to just anyone. Call S.K. Smith today. S.K. Electric, your fully bonded electrical contractors.
Denton Drugs in Mount Carmel is your hometown drugstore. They care about you and focus on giving you fast personal service. Denton's pharmacists are very professional and will take the time necessary to make you feel comfortable with your medication. Denton's also brings you health and beauty items and great gifts like perfume and Fannie Mae candies. At Denton Drugs, the customer is always number one, so stop by and see everything that Denton's has to offer. Denton Drugs, 418 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
At Capital Planning Alliance, our mission is simple.
Our mission is to help our clients achieve an ever-increasing degree of financial independence, safely and efficiently, through a long-term tax, legal, and investment planning relationship with a trusted and knowledgeable advisor.
Capital Planning Alliance's impressive staff consists of 4 certified public accountants, an investment advisor, and legal counsel, bringing to the table over 51 years of financial planning. Call the professionals at Capital Planning Alliance at 263-3640. Capital Planning Alliance, making your money work harder for you.
48-0. Mount Carmel leads the Lawrenceville Indians. 7-11 to play here in the final frame. Jesse Anderson to kick off for the Aces. A short kick taken at the 19-yard line by the Indians. Jeff Bobe, and he returns it up over the 35, or right to about the 36. So a 17-yard return for Bobe, and that's where the Indians will take over, 1st and 10.
You know, I had someone ask me this week, why does Lawrenceville every other year schedule Mount Carmel for their homecoming game? Why would you want to continually be beaten up on year after year? But if you look at Lawrenceville's schedule, who else would they, want to play? But still, you think you might pick 4 or
maybe Olney or
yeah, there you go. I mean, but you don't want to pick Mount Carmel every year or every other year.
Actually, my wife made a comment coming up here too, Kevin.
Indians will have it. Winningham still at quarterback for the Indians, and the give this time is to the second back through, who is Scott Couch, I believe, carried that time, and that's who it is. Decked there by, was that either Jason Vaught maybe or Matt Tomlinson. Again, a lot of young faces now in for the Mount Carmel Golden Aces lineup. Might have been Derek Morgan, 5'10 junior, number 71. That may be who that is.
And these homecoming games aren't etched in stone. All they have to do is agree to change it to a Friday. I mean, we used to play Red Hill on our homecoming on Saturday afternoon until Red Hill decided they didn't want to do that anymore.
2nd and 10 for the Indians. Ball on their own 35. Winningham in under center. Going to drop back and pass it this time. Now rolls right, tells the receiver run long, and he's going to let her loose. No, fakes it and keeps himself and dives up for about a 1-yard gain after all of that. He was motioning to the receiver, run long, and the receiver did, but he never threw it to him.
Must have not marked it in the dirt well enough in the huddle.
Yeah, that did look like a made-up play.
Yeah, the receiver's going to come back and say, I'm not running long anymore because I ran long for no reason.
Well, it was a gorgeous day to play football in Lawrenceville, no doubt about it. Really, the last couple of weekends have been very nice for the Aces, considering how the way the season started weather-wise. Hopefully good weather will continue on through the playoffs. We don't need another bone chiller like that DuQuoin game last year or the Murphyboro game as well. 48-0, and here comes a penalty flag from the line judge. Somebody's in the neutral zone, although I'm not sure who. They say the Aces lined up offsides. 7th penalty for 60 yards for Mount Carmel. And they'll walk off the 5 yards, and it will bring up now a 3rd and 4 for the Indians with the ball resting on their own 42.
A feel-good kind of penalty.
That's right. Should mention, looks like Nathan Woodcock in the game at free safety from Mount Carmel. Trying to get all the subs here that I can. I apologize if I miss someone. And now I'm not sure what the Indians are doing. No flag, though. Now they will give a penalty flag, and Derek Morgan chasing the quarterback, Whittingham. He's got the receiver running, but Marcotte's got an interception as Marcotte was able to step in front of the intended receiver, Luke Lockhart. There are penalty flags down. Let's wait and see what the penalty is.
Well, it's got to be motion against Lawrenceville because the wide receiver never was set.
Yeah, Lockhart was moving the entire time. He started about 8 yards in the backfield and just kept moving forward until the snap of the ball, kind of like arena football when you get a running start before the snap.
Now, the ultimate slap in the face would be to accept the penalty here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, here, try again.
But Aces coach John Hart says, we'll let Zeb have his first official interception of the year, and Zeb Marcotte is credited with an INT, the Aces' second pick of the ball game. So 6:02 to play here in this 4th quarter. Mount Carmel leads 48-0. Our next Aces broadcast comes your way next Friday night, homecoming night from Riverview Stadium. The Alney Tigers come calling. Broadcast time at 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock. We hope you join us for that one. New quarterback for the Aces looks to be, that's Travis Wilcox, the freshman, isn't it? 18. Travis Wilcox now getting his first varsity experience. I think today was the first day he's even dressed for varsity. And he's thrown to the wolves right away. Travis Wilcox, the freshman quarterback, on the give that time to Brad Haywood, another freshman. You got 2 freshmen right now in the game. Haywood picked up 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 1 for the Aces. Wilcox, the give again to Haywood, and Brad Haywood has a first down and then some after the 3-yard pickup. So lots of freshmen right now in the backfield for the Aces, and Brad gets the ball up to the 46 of Lawrenceville, and Aces first down. It's like one of the Indians injured.
Yeah, it's Nick Benson. He tried to get up and then was actually crawling off the field, and Dick Dietz said, just lay down there, son. We'll get you some help.
Tell you what, I want Aces fan to remember the mental picture that you have right now of Travis Wilcox, because this is going to be a kid. He looks no bigger than, well, he looks pretty small.
5'6", probably.
Yeah. And that may be stretching it, but I mean, this kid is going to have, just watch his demeanor, watch how he handles himself. He's going to be somebody that by the time he's a senior has an excellent handle of this offense, and is going to be somebody that's going to. His dad keeps telling me he's going to be 6'2". Now I hope. I hope.
You better get going. You got Wilcox, freshman quarterback. You got a freshman fullback and Brad Haywood, a sophomore halfback, and Jason Benham, who's now in the game, and I believe Duke Hodson is the other halfback, the senior. He's a right halfback. Give this time the second back through is Jason Benham, and he's got running room. He's to the Indians' 37-yard line, a gain of some 7 yards for Benham on his first varsity carry.
And one of the things that Sam Sanders is doing, he's not even getting down in a three-point stance. He's just standing up and trying to break through the line as quick as he can, and he's breaking through the line really quick, but they're running right past him for big yards.
Freelancing. Give the second back through this time. Benham again, and he is over the left side, and some running room.
I'll tell you what, this Benham kid is really, really strong in his lower body. If he hadn't had an injury this summer, I believe it was an ankle and knee.
Right.
He really cut into really cut into his time a little bit, I think. But if not for that injury this summer, I think we'd have been seeing a little bit more Jason.
1st and 10 for the Aces. Their 28th first down of the ball game. Give this time is to Duke Hodson, the second back through behind the lead block of Benham, and he is down to the 26-yard line, so a gain of 6 for Hodson.
And good old Sam, he was in the backfield again, and he threw Wilcox down that time.
Picking on a freshman.
Man.
4:20 to play. Clock rolling, 4th quarter. It cannot roll quick enough. for Indians fans.
Travis might have to get a couple cans of whip butt after that. Huh?
That's right. Wilcox in under center. Sits him down, and now he options left. Nice pitch to Duke Hodgson, who will be near the marker. He needed 5, really a long 5, and he got just that. So the option ran quite well by the freshman quarterback. Option to the senior halfback, and just shy of the first down. Let's say 3rd and 1, with the ball resting on the 23 of Lawrenceville. Ace's substitution into the game, 58. And of
J.R.
course,
Christie?
That J.R. Christie, you might be right, Coach. No, Matt McLean, number 58. What do we have? A fumble. The Ace is able to recover it, though. And, of course, it won't be enough for first down. It's actually a loss on the play of some 2 to 3 yards. So it'll be 4th and 3 with 3:15 remaining.
My fault, Matt.
Wilcox sets him down, and he's trying to get out of there and run the option, but tackled up front. And Wilcox dropped for a loss of about 3 yards, and the Indians will take over on downs with 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the final frame. I got to make a brand new statistical category spot for Wilcox because I ran out of room.
Timeout, Lawrenceville.
So the Indians take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Mount Carmel leads 48-0. 3 minutes to play in this one. Back with more after this.
Last year, we introduced Formula Shell gasoline. It's nice to see so many folks getting a kick out of it. Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline.
We know that evaluating and selecting nursing care is confusing to most people. Our staff will help you find a solution that will work for your family and fit your circumstance. We provide all levels of nursing care, including a special care unit for patients with Alzheimer's disease and VA-related disorders, along with a hospice program. Short-term or long-term care is easily arranged, and we're a Medicare-certified nursing home. General Baptist Nursing Home, where your friends care for you.
For a decade now, Pit Stop Services has served area drivers with dedicated service. Whether it's Pit Stop's famous Quick But Complete oil changes or Pit Stop's great deals on all-season radials from Michelin, Cooper, Remington, and others, Pit Stop Services has built its reputation on putting the customer first. Now Pit Stop is proud to offer ZZ Wheels. ZZ Wheels is the hottest look in wheels and features a patented interchangeable twist lock design to completely transform the look of your wheels in seconds. Drive a little, save a lot at Pit Stop Services.
Your 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week supermarket, Mount Carmel Red and White, continues to be your full-service grocery store. Red and White makes your grocery shopping easier by now accepting Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, in addition to your bank ATM card. Need a money order? There's no need to go any further than Red and White. Plus, Red and White is your headquarters for the Rug Doctor, and you can even take home a video from Red and White's video aisle. And you can play the Illinois Lottery at your hometown supermarket, Mount Carmel Red and White, from the corner of 9th and Walnut Streets.
All right, back in Lawrenceville out of the Indian timeout. 3 minutes, 4 seconds remain in this one. Mount Carmel comfortably ahead, 48-0, about to win their 7th game against no defeats here in 1996. The Indians about to fall in 1-6 on the year. And this time, the Indian quarterback, they've got a new young man in the ball game quarterbacking. And he's number 26 for the Indians. That is, I should look up there. Chris Gray, 5'6", 150-pound senior on the quarterback keeper right up the middle, gains 1 yard. So with 2:38 and counting, it'll be a 2nd and 9 for the Indians. Our next Aces broadcast this coming Friday night. The Aces at home for homecoming against Lawrenceville. The Indians need a timeout. We'll take another timeout, too. Back with the finish of this one after a timeout. Stay with us.
Security Bank is your bank for life, all your life, and for all your financial needs. And no matter how much your needs change, we'll always keep you moving in the right direction to get you safely where you want to be. We offer a full range of financial services, so we can do a lot for you now and in the future. From simple checking to good living loans for any reason, we're here to serve your financial needs every step of the way. Security Bank, your bank for life.
Electric wires are too high to touch.
Wrong. Overhead wires are insulated.
Wrong. Wood does not conduct electricity. Wrong. What you don't know can hurt you.
Take care around electricity.
First play from scrimmage out of the timeout. Scott Couch goes over the right side for a 2-yard gain. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Indians, with the ball resting on their own 30-yard line. Oliver Ryan in the game on defense for the Aces, it looks like.
John Baker at safety, I believe.
You're right. John Baker, a sophomore in there. John Williams in at strong safety. And this time the quarterback, Gray, going nowhere, dropped for about a 3-yard loss, actually, by a plethora of Golden Aces. Who else is in the ball game? It looks like Scott Brewer, maybe, for the Aces is in there, as well as some other young men, sophomores, mainly getting some playing time here.
Danny Palmer.
Danny Palmer in the ball game, with the Aces leading comfortably. 1:12 to play. They're going to have to punt it away, are the Indians, and John Baker is going to get his first punt return of his varsity career. He's to the 46, a gain of about 3 yards for Baker, and that is where the Aces will take over here with under a minute to play now in this one. So John Baker has a 3-yard return, and the Aces offense will trot onto the field for basically just a couple of plays. There's about 1:04 actually on the clock, and 1 minute 4 seconds remaining in this one.
I believe Zach Fortner's back in now. In a quarterback.
So you're right, Zach Fortner. He's got a big club on his left hand too. He's got an injured wrist, but he'll still quarterback. And they run it fumble as Hodson and Fortner have trouble on the exchange, and on the fumble the Indians recover. So the Indians will have it for the final few seconds of this one. How about that? Ace's 5th fumble of the day. We have not taken care of the ball as well as we'd like.
Well, I think Zach and Mr. Horo arm wrestled a little bit, I think, and both got the same injury.
Both got the casts on the arm. So the Indians will take it over. 1:01. That play only took 3 seconds to develop. But the Indians will have it with the ball in Aces territory on the 48. Rolling left is Gray. He's got some running room now to the 44-yard line. About a 4-yard quarterback sweep for Chris Gray. And so the Indians will have the football. 2nd and 6 from the Aces 44. 55 seconds. Clock does stop on the out of bounds. Most of the fans heading for their cars and headed home. Those that are remaining, I should say. Lots of folks headed that way after the announcing of the King and Queen here at halftime ceremonies for homecoming. Gray, they give this time to the fullback.
And the clock hasn't run yet, Rob. Still 55 seconds left.
Scott Couch, I believe. Yeah, they haven't moved the clock. 55, and the referees are saying, let's go, roll it. Get this thing over with. Bo and Luke Duke stop in this afternoon as well to say hello. Split ends to each side, and Gray in the center. He fumbles the snap, now fumbles it again after picking it up, and the Aces have a fumble recovery. That is whom? Is that Derek Morgan on the fumble recovery for the Aces?
Wow, this long.
Bo and Luke Duke, that's good, Coach.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
It's who it sounded like.
We have a number of, what TV show was that? Dukes of Hazzard
Dukes of
fans on
Hazzard.
this team, I can tell you that.
The Dukes of Hazzard. Zach Fortner into quarterback. The Aces give to Duke Hodson, who's got a first down and more. Almost broken away. He's down to the 30-yard line. A 24-yard run for Duke Hodson. He almost scored a touchdown to end this game. We're now down to just 24 seconds left. So 84 yards rushing for Duke Hodson today on just 8 carries. And
personal foul.
Lawrenceville personal foul after the tackle. So that'll tack on another 15 yards and really move the Aces close to having a chance to score before the game's over. With 20 seconds left, no, we're just going to huddle up on the sideline, let the clock run out. Had we taken the ball offensively, it would have been 1st and 10 from the 15 of Lawrenceville, but now 10 seconds, and Coach John Hart holds the troops on the sideline. The golden helmets hoisted in the air, and Mount Carmel is about to win their 7th game on the season against no defeats. The Golden Aces winners, 48-0 your final score. Mount Carmel improves to 7-0 on the season, 6-0 in the NEC. Lawrenceville falls to 1-6 and 1-5 in league play. Stay with us. We'll be back to talk with Aces coach John Hart right after this.
Committed to quality. It's a pretty simple statement, but at Wabash General Hospital, it means so much more. Committed to quality is Wabash General's promise to stay abreast of modern medical treatment and technology, provide kind and compassionate care, and maintain the high standards of medical excellence that the community expects and deserves. Wabash General provides modern medical technology, a highly skilled staff, and a commitment to our community to offer quality, compassionate care close to home. That's Wabash General Hospital, Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel's full-service car care center is Southern Illinois Tire on West 3rd Street. Southern Illinois Tire's quality service technicians handle everything from front end alignment, transmission service, brakes, oil changes, mufflers, and of course tires. Southern Illinois Tire has the brand name tires you're looking for from Firestone, Michelin, General, and others, all at a price that can't be beaten. Southern Illinois Tires, 1121 West 3rd Street, Mount Carmel.
Back in Lawrenceville, Rob Blackman, Rick Johnston, Kevin Madden on the sidelines, about to catch up with Aces head coach John Hart. The Golden Aces victorious today in Lawrenceville, spoiling the Indians' homecoming. 48-0 is the final score. Mount Carmel improves to 7-0 on the year, 6-0 in the NEC. They have now won the North Egypt Conference title outright, their 10th title in 11 years. The Lawrenceville Indians fall to 1-6 and 1-5 in league play, their lone victory being that victory over Flora 2 weeks ago. I see now our own Kevin Madden is catching up with the Aces head coach. And let's go to the sidelines. Kevin Madden now with Aces coach John Hart.
All right, Rob, thanks a lot. We're down here in the field in Lawrenceville after the Aces rolled to a 48-0 win over the Lawrenceville Indians this afternoon, clinching an outright North Egypt Conference championship. First of all, Coach, congratulations on the conference championship and the big win today.
Well, thanks. I tell you, I thought we played real hard. We made some mistakes, a little bit early, I guess starting about the second quarter, but most of all, I thought they played really, really hard, and we did the things we had to do to win. And Coach Colvin probably said it best. It's really hard to stay focused when you're a lot better than a team. But I felt like Lawrenceville really played hard in the second half. So I give them credit. I know it's a tough situation when you're playing a lot of young kids and you don't have a whole bunch of players.
Did you try to do anything different this week to try to keep that focus? You knew it would be hard to keep them focused heading into a game like this. Did you do anything different?
Well, we gave them Monday off, and that may have been a mistake. I don't know, but because it seemed like we had a hard time getting back on track a little bit, and it showed a little bit signs of that today. But mostly no. But I tell you, they got a dandy little nose guard. He gave us fits there a lot, and we just kept blocking it wrong. And he kind of reminded me a lot of Brent Strine from last year for us. So he did a real nice job. But no, we really didn't prepare very much differently. But we ran about every offensive play we got.
Right. And it seemed like every offensive play was successful to some degree today too. Talk about Chris's passing today. Seemed the wind hurt him a couple of times, but still he had another good day.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, he's awesome. I don't know that that anybody that I've ever been around or seen could do all the things he does. And I couldn't say enough about him. But we had a lot of guys that really, the one thing they did is they wanted to take Swanson away from us a little bit, and they did that, the fullback up the middle and stuff. But it sure opened up Jed. And like you said, Chris, I think probably could threw for 200-300 yards today.
I know earlier in the year you were concerned about the offensive line somewhat. Like when we want 2 yards, we need to get 2 yards. But really, the last 3 weeks, the offensive line's really come around.
Yeah, I really feel like that. Maybe even 3 or 4 weeks, probably from Salem on, we've really played awful well. Really, since we, I didn't feel like we played real well against Red Hill, but from that point on, I felt like we've progressed each week, and now we're ending up with the type of scores that are relative to the two teams, I think.
Heading into Olney now, it's homecoming. I know you never like homecoming week, all the distractions and everything. What's some of the things that you try to do to keep the team looking at the game and not necessarily all the peripheral things?
Well, I tell you, I kind of like it because I tell you why, and I told the kids this, and we had the band, Matt Rundle, the band has a concert today in Newton, and he asked about practicing. Well, I kind of scheduled it where their practice was the same time as our practice so that we could start having some distractions. And then with homecoming, there'll be some more distractions. And what I'm trying to build up to is that's what happens in the playoffs. You have 10,000 distractions and a lot more media and stuff like that. So that's what we're trying to add into that so that it doesn't affect us so much. So hopefully that we mature through that, Kevin, and that's what our goal is.
Looking ahead to the playoffs, I know you always have a formula on who we might play the first round, the way the seedings might go. Robinson beaten last night, Harrisburg beaten last night. Does that throw any type of monkey wrenches in what you had earlier thought?
Yeah, well, and El Dorado got beat, but we kind of predicted that. Carterville may go 3A. They got 500, and 502 was the cutoff last year, even though I think it'll get bigger, a little bit bigger this year in 3A. So, I tell you that the thing is, I don't know if Rob knows about it, but they've shifted their thinking in the IHSA, and what they're going to do is they're going to put all the teams in, then take the 32 teams from the Class 3A, and like if we're ranked number 1, which is where I have us ranked by points, us ranked number 1, we'll play the 32nd team, and it doesn't matter if they're in Danville, Bloomington, Carbondale, wherever, St. Louis, and they'll travel to Mount Carmel and play. So, and then your second round team would be the 16 and 17 seed winner. Okay. So it really makes it, I think it's the most fair way to do it, and it's what the coaches wanted in the IHSA because they want to play different teams. You don't want to get beat, you don't want to get beat out by a conference opponent. You want if you're going to get knocked out or if you win, you want to play somebody different, and I think that's the goal.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, it was a beautiful day, wasn't it?
Yeah, you bet.
Sure was.
Coach John Hart, after the Aces roll 48-0 over the Lawrenceville Indians here this afternoon, clinching the North Egypt Conference Championship outright. Back to you guys.
Golden Aces football, 1996, on Mount Carmel's own Channel 12. Brought to you by Security Bank and Trust Company, Welborn Clinic, Schwartz Heating and Air Conditioning, Subway, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel, Patriot Motors, Bank of Mount Carmel, and Hardee's. Also by First National Bank, Shawks Body and Glass, and Deck Hill Battery, Little Italy's Pizza, Capital Planning Alliance, Corwin Printing, The Apothecary Shop, Dairy Queen, and Pit Stop Services. And by Kiefer Lumber Company, Mount Carmel Red and White, Harris Insurance Agency, SK Smith Electric, Guy Hadley's Cafe, First Cellular, Mount Carmel Public Utility, and the J. Woodman Autoplex. And by KB Construction, Wabash General Hospital, Kiefer Brothers Construction, Gottman's Custom Jewelry, Robert Walter Furniture, Mundy Insurance, Denton Drugs, and Dersch Energies. And by General Baptist Nursing Home, Southern Illinois Tire, and WSJD Mix 100.5. Golden Aces football on Mount Carmel's own Channel 12.
Okay, we're rolling here out of the first segment.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. I'm sitting here with two juniors who have played outstanding football at this point. On my right, Ryan Haywood, who leads the team in interceptions with 5, and Pork Chop Snow. All right, and the reason why, well, give him a good shot at the chops. Can you focus in on the chops? You don't see those things. Elvis is in the house. Nick Snow played outstanding ball for us at offensive tackle. we'll start off with Rhino here as far as talking a little bit about the defense. Defense has really stepped it up the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we've just decided to have fun and quit messing around with everybody. Just keep the enthusiasm and play hard and just have fun. It's worked for us.
Yeah, they've really teed off, and we've really, with you and Ryan Peter, been able to allow really basically man-on-man coverage, and then we get after the runs.
Yeah, Pete and Jake are doing a real good job on the pass, but it's kind of easy when they only have about 2 seconds to pass the ball. But the running, we're just getting good penetration on them, and they ain't getting nowhere.
Now, tell me, you play quarterback. He's also our backup quarterback, and did a real nice job when you stepped in. Carmel announcer said a lot of nice things. How would you like to have Lance McNew bearing down from your backside?
Not at all.
I got a kick out of listening to Chris Rafferty. We were watching film, and he goes, "Oh man, that looks like that hurts." So Lance kind of unloads. He's our sack extraordinaire now with 11 sacks, Rob? 11 sacks, and I don't know how many caused fumbles, so he's doing a terrific job for us. Also, you're at 5 interceptions. I think the record since I've been here has been 7. I think 11 is the overall record. You got your eye on that?
Yeah, I've been trying to get about 1 a game. I could have had about 3 or 4 in a couple games, but once again, our defensive line not giving the quarterback any time. He's just having to throw it up, and it's been easy.
Yeah, and I tell you what, and you're real close to it. And people one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about our defense, our corners are not supposed to be up making tackles. They are strictly coverage men. And now we ask a little bit more out of Ryan Peter when we put him on a tight end, but 99% of the time we're strictly coverage men, right?
That's right.
All right, I'm going to move over here to Pork Chop. Now, how many nicknames do you exactly have, Nick?
I really don't know. There's about 3 or 4.
Well, what's your favorite one?
Well, some of the seniors like Mark Fisher and Lance McNew, they call me Cupcake. And
Cupcake?
Yeah. I really
Cupcake for a football player?
I really don't like that one, but they just gave that name to me.
Freight Train?
Yeah.
Freight Train. That's been one of the longer lasting
Yeah,
ones.
I've had that ever since Inner City. Billy Stinson gave that one to me.
All right. Would you like to thump Billy?
Huh?
Would you like to thump him for that?
I don't know if I really want to or not. And I also have Bulldog. Justin Loveless, he gave it to me in like 7th grade. So.
Bulldog?
Yeah.
That's not a bad one. I
don't know. People just like to give me a lot of nicknames, so.
He's a nickname man. That's what he is. And see, Wellbaum has a couple for you every once in a while too. Terry Wellbaum, the custodian that does the gyms and floors.
He sort of calls me Lumpy, whatever that means.
Well, hey, Wellbaum, we'll see you at school tomorrow. I'll thump some knots on your heads. But Nick, you're playing outstanding football. I think you and Aaron Burbrick, who is pouting because I didn't have him on the show tonight. So if he makes his proper reads at linebacker, he will be our guest, the only guest. He'll be extraordinaire if he makes the proper reads and comes up and sticks people in the hole like he's supposed to, okay? But you and Aaron and Josh Horrell have been just playing outstanding and consistently throughout the year. And Seth Swanson and Jared Steckler have really played, brilliantly at times, and now are playing a lot more consistent. What do you attribute to playing so hard and so good this early?
Well, our job really isn't that hard because we have great skilled players. Like, all we have to do is give our running backs just a little bit of a hole, and they're going to break it with Jed Casburn, Justin Swanson, Josh Keepus, and give Rafferty about a few seconds to throw, and he's going to complete the ball with Brandon Grant, Justin Lovis, and Craig Snow. So we just give our skilled players a little bit of time. They're going to do good things.
He's got a pretty good voice. You may be a radio TV guy. I think he might be pretty good. Stutterer over here, he's over here. But Nick, he kind of spits him out pretty good.
He's been rehearsing.
Has he been rehearsing? He knew I was going to ask him, didn't he?
I don't want to sound stupid on here, so I had to.
Are you saying he sounds stupid?
I don't know. Probably.
All right. Now the question going around, that's really the big question around here. We've been through the dance, and we've seen what it can do. Okay. Now there's the glove thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you help me out? Because you two guys are in the glove thing.
Yeah. It's a special group. It's really special. I mean,
the members
like special ed, you mean? Or
no.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. Okay.
So our members are Ryan Haywood, myself, Josh Keepus, Joe D, and Justin Lovis.
We have our Lord Pat from Pat's Pond.
That's where we bought our gloves.
We visit her to get our gloves, and
Pat's Pond in Princeton and all over the tri-state.
Let's do extraordinary things for us.
All right. So you really have Pat to thank for a lot of this, don't you?
Yeah.
Pat's Pawn Shop.
Yeah. That's the reason Joe D got the player of the game, because he's a member of the gloves, you know.
Oh, he played with the gloves. Did he play with the gloves?
We gave him a blessing before the game.
I was going to say, because it's illegal to play with those gloves.
Yeah, I know, but before the game he had it on, and that's why I did so good.
Oh, okay. See, I learn things as I go through this show sometimes. I mean, I didn't know anything about it. Hey, you know, talking a little bit as far as your class goes, there's several contributors in your class, especially on the offensive line. And there's you and Seth and, like we had talked, and Jared. Brandon, I guess you can consider him also on the line. So your class contributing greatly on the offensive line. And on defense, who do we have on defense that's in your class?
Myself, Sam DeVue.
And Jake Lewis.
Jake Lewis and Sean Thacker, nose guard.
Okay, so so where the junior class has really contributed on both sides of the ball, and it's kind of funny, more you guys in the offensive line. Of course, Josh Keepus also on the running back. And you guys more in the defensive backfield, a little bit more on the perimeter. So something to look forward to not only for the rest of this year. As you know, juniors tend to make the biggest amount of growth throughout a school year, and then also for next year. So we'll be right back with Rob Blackman in the final segment.
Very good, man.
I didn't say anything about Hannah or anything. I started to. I thought about it, but I thought if I broke you two up, you might be able to go into a pouting fit.
She wouldn't care.
All right, let me see.
Let me call my wife in where I'm at.
Recorded all of that.
Did you record part of that?
No, I shut it off. I should have, though.
You want to sit there?
No, I got it focused right here. 8-minute segment.
Start. Not bad.
I know. I was telling the guys, that's what I buy at home. It's so cheap. It's only $4 a case. I buy that stuff all the time. I got a refrigerator full. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Coach's Corner here on this Thursday night. I'm Rob Blackman alongside Aces head coach John Hart for yet another Thursday night edition of Coach's Corner. This Thursday, we prepare for the Lawrenceville Indians, who will be a Saturday afternoon game, a bit of a change of schedule. Tonight, we greet you from the coach's office. And I must say, your desk is cleaned off. Compared to normal, it doesn't look half bad, Coach.
Well, I tell you, you can always tell how hard a man works by how sloppy his desk is. And I must be the hardest working man there ever was.
Well, it's looked worse. So you did a nice job getting it cleaned up tonight. The Aces have are now 6-0. If you've been living under a rock, you should know the Aces are undefeated, 5-0 in the North Egypt Conference. Have gained at least a share of that conference title with a whopping 61-13 victory over Carmel last Friday night in Carmel. And I guess my first question for you, Coach, have you ever been associated with a game on the winning end or the losing end where the game got out of hand as quickly as that game did Friday night?
Well, I've never been around a group where we've dominated so quick, and it was 49-0 before you blinked. And really, that series before half, it could have made it actually 55-56 in a heartbeat. So no, I haven't. And the thing was, Carmel's not a bad ball club, but I tell you, they got it behind the 8 ball a little bit, and just things got perpetually worse real quick, and their kids that are young just started fumbling the ball, unforced ones there and stuff. So, but a great showing by our kids.
Yeah, one thing I thought was interesting, you mentioned earlier Wednesday at Boosters, the fact you felt our offense in the first half may have played the best half of football you'd ever seen in offense in your tenure here at Mount Carmel.
Yeah, it really did, because we were almost error-free until right before the end of the half, and some great blocks on punt returns. I mean, it was a whole offensive thing, and we just kept switching series of sets every series. I mean, I got to actually backwards, but we switched sets every series, and
you're kind of afforded the luxury, weren't you? Once you got that lead, you're able to toy with some different things, or
yeah, because what we typically do in a game is we look at a defense, and then what you do is you select what plays work against what defense. And in this game, we didn't do that. We just threw in the whole gamut, and whatever series it was, that's the place where he ran, and it was nice. I tell you, the one thing that maybe troubles you a little bit is that people like Jed Casper and Justin Swanson and Brandon Grant, who we could have left in longer and got the ball to them a little bit more and stuff, didn't statistically get to help themselves that much. But that really does have to be the last priority when it comes to the game of football.
We certainly got a lot of your young players plenty of minutes, and it's interesting tonight when we move on to our next segment. You're going to visit with a couple of juniors that are regular faces in the Aces starting lineup, Ryan Haywood and Nick Snow, but some other names and faces maybe Aces fans hadn't become accustomed to, and they're going to in the next couple of years. What about Zeb Marcotte on that touchdown reception? I mean, he, for a wide receiver, he can play. Problem is he's just behind a couple really pretty good ones right now.
I tell you what, Zeb Marcotte could play for any other team I've had in the last 7 years. He'd have started on defense, he'd start on offense, and a lot of them he'd have started both ways. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a heck of a player, and I talk to him all the time just so he doesn't get his dauber down. And it had been easy, for him to say, oh boy, I can see these players playing ahead of me. I'll set out a year and come back. Mm-hmm. But he's not that kind of kid. He's a hard worker. He is as important as anybody on our football team as far as I'm concerned, and wears a lot of hats, always has a smile and a great attitude.
One young man we'll visit with later, Ryan Haywood. We've seen him all year on defense make outstanding plays. Coming in quarterbacking, he looks like he could be a starter many a years for your ball clubs at the level he's at right now. Unfortunately, Chris Rafferty's ahead of him.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Carmel, it's funny, as Carmel, we couldn't pull in our radio station, so Carmi's plugged into our tape, and their radio announcers when he comes in, he's running the no huddle and doing it flawlessly, doing the sets and everything, and they're just kind of like, wow, what the heck's this going on? And they're trying to catch up with things, and then he throws that strike, and he said, they go, man, this guy could start for anybody. Yeah. So he's a extraordinary athlete and player, and he's a fun kid to be around too.
Well, it's certainly an added luxury. The Aces getting out in front by as many points as they did Friday. Got to see a lot of faces. Probably every parent in the stands had to be happy their youngster got to play a lot of minutes Friday. When you jumped out ahead as quickly as you did, up 4 touchdowns by the time the first quarter was over, did your strategy change any in the second quarter? Did you try to work on some things you felt you needed to work on for that first group there in the second quarter?
There's a lot of different philosophies when it comes to coaching, and what my philosophy is that we are going to run what we run very well, and what we're going to do is you want to develop an offense with the personnel you have to spread it out where no matter what people do, that if people are going to play long, you're going to throw short. If people play short, you're going to throw long, and do all those things. And that's what we do. And when you do that, I work on it. If we're playing Carmel, somebody that we felt like we could beat, or whether we're playing Red Hill, where somebody we knew we're going to really have to compete, our game plan really doesn't change too much. We're still going to run the offense the way we can best, as opposed to what they're doing.
Well, the Aces 61-13 winners on Friday night in Carmel. Aces 5-0 in the conference, 6-0 overall. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to talk to the couple of the youngsters who are key ingredients to that undefeated season thus far. Junior offensive lineman Nick Snow and junior defensive back Ryan Haywood. Stay with us. Hey, hey, hey. Don't call me Billy J. Let's see, 16, so about a couple more 4-minute segments. 2 more segments, so me too. So let's keep going. Here we go. What?
Tired,
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back to Coach's Corner. A couple of fine young men you just had on, Coach Nick Snow and Ryan Haywood. They've really added a lot to the program. We knew Haywood was going to be pretty good. He started there last year, but Nick Snow's been a pleasant surprise for you.
I tell you what, he's been dominating. He's been absolutely dominating, and he's been almost flawless. And Yeah, he's been a pleasant surprise, and you count on those as a coach. You think, boy, if we're going to be so good, we got to have so many surprises, and he's been one of them. Man, he's really, like you said, he's really played the game of football the way it's supposed to be played.
Coach, let's look ahead to these Lawrenceville Indians. The Indians do have a victory under the belt. They won their first game in 2 years, and they defeated Flora 2 weeks ago in a pouring downpour in Lawrenceville. Beat them in double overtime. 6-0 was the final score in that one. We're not going to kid anyone here. The Indians are not the caliber ball club Mount Carmel is. They're a younger ball team. They've struggled in the past with getting some victories, but nonetheless, you're going to Lawrenceville, and it's Lawrenceville versus Mount Carmel, so you might as well throw those statistics out the door. This one's going to be a hard-hitting ball game.
Yeah. Pouring downpour. Has that been redone?
Well, that wasn't very good.
Okay, I was just checking because I don't do things like that. Repeat myself like that. At least you don't correct me, right?
I don't critique your coaching on the field while the game's going on, but every time we do the coaches show, you've got a critique of the host. I wore a tie tonight. I haven't commented on that.
Man, you look good. You look good. Okay.
Right.
What was the question? Lawrenceville.
The Indians. They're going to be tough. We know it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that is a great point, and that was one of the points where the Vincennes writer had asked me. He said, it's always a battle for at least a half when you play Lawrenceville, don't you believe? And I said, yeah, I really do. In the 6 years, consistently, I don't know that anybody's played us better till halftime than Lawrenceville. And I'm talking about Salem or Fairfield or any ball clubs. Some of them have beat us, and Lawrenceville haven't since I've been here. But consistently throughout the years, they have always played us well for a half.
Remember 93, they jumped ahead of us 3 touchdowns before we could blink. 94, we go there. They had us down at half, and the troops came out fired up in the second half there in Lawrenceville that day. Last year, they played us well for a half, so you're exactly right. At least for a half, we know Lawrenceville is going to play us tough. Let's hope history repeats itself, and that second half, the Aces come through strong.
Well, hopefully we'll play well in the first half, and that's a difficult thing with this group, where they are talented and now they've become hard workers and they're doing all the other good things, but sometimes they get a little lackadaisical, and I think I found out with this group there is no backing off of them. You got to press them to get what you want and to get what they want, And I had a talk with a couple of real good football players today after practice, and I was really tough on them in practice. I mean, I didn't give them much breathing room, and I don't know that I think any more of these than anybody on the team that I do with these 2 kids, because they're talented and they work hard and they don't take anything for granted. And I said, hey, it'd be easy. The easy thing for me to do is to get mad and yank you guys out and sit you on the bench. Right. I said, but the tough thing to do is for me to be tough on you and expect you to be as good as you can be. And I mean, I was on them the whole practice. And what was kind of funny is that as we were going away, they kind of bumped me and thanked me, for being tough on them, right, as opposed to giving up on them. And Rob, we're still not near as good as what we could be and will be at the end of this year.
Coach, on that note, before we take our final break, at least from what I saw Friday night, was Friday night's win over Carmel a huge stepping stone toward getting to that near perfection you think you can get? Because it looked to me like we came miles Friday.
Yeah, that was the biggest stepping stone. And, the thing is that I just feel like the talent of this ball club is just, I think it's just overwhelming. And I think we can beat good teams. And Carmel is on the borderline of being a good ball club. And I know a lot of people see that team and don't think that. But if you've seen the films we saw, like Lance McNew was almost white after he seen the film in there in the locker room and said, Coach, these guys are tough. These guys are really good. I think we've underestimated them, and so I think they're a good ball club, but that's how we can play if we really get after it really hard. And you're not going to beat DuQuoin and some of those ball clubs like that, but you can come in and be dominating, even if a score is 21-7. You can be dominating and dominate a game. Well, we lost, we beat Harrisburg by a touchdown, but you felt like we dominated them. Right. And I think you can do that, and those guys are going to be pretty good. Speaking of Harrisburg, going to be awful good by the time playoffs get here.
Right. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to enlighten you a little bit on that playoff scenario. We'll have a final segment, just a couple minutes left. Stay with us. More on Coach's Corner right after this.
Don't catch me in any of those predictions.
I'm not. I'm going to stay away from it.
Schools, boy, he's predicting those to lose.
Okay. Here we go. Final segment in 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back. Just a couple minutes left for Coach's Corner. This reminder, the game this weekend is Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock in Lawrenceville. Coach, I guess a couple final questions. One, did your practice schedule change any for this week? Does the fact you had a Saturday game as opposed to a Friday night?
Yeah, there's good news and bad news, Rob. The good news is that, last week I told the kids, I said, hey, if we play really well Friday, I'm going to give you Saturday off, and I'm going to give you Monday off, and we'll start on Tuesday. Now, I've been coached 12 years. I've never done that. Well, the bad news is that on Tuesday, we didn't practice real well, and on Wednesday, it looked like a team that I'd given off 3 days. So, we got to get back on task real quick because we got off of it. And defense really practiced well today, but our offense didn't. So, and we're really actually taping this on Wednesday. So, it'd be interesting to see how we step back out and practice on Thursday. It's going to be a telltale sign of how we'll play on Saturday.
Coach, one final question for you. With Robinson losing last Friday at Hopkinsville, Kentucky, we're now the only undefeated Class 3A team. If Carterville were to go 2A, we kind of got to preface that. And if El Dorado gets knocked off before the end of the season's over, which they got some toughies left, there's a very good chance we'll be the only undefeated team left in Class 3A. How important now is it for you guys to get these last 3 games and have that number 1 seed for those 3A playoffs?
Well, I think it becomes extremely important. I don't know that winning these last 3 games aren't as important as winning the first 3 games. Right. Any one of those first 3 games, because if you get that number 1 seed, you're going to play, and how the playoffs work, and I know you understand, just in case anybody watching doesn't, is that they seed the teams first of all, by record. Right. So usually a 9-0 is a number 1 seed, which is what we would be. We were a number 2 seed last year, but it was based on the wins of your opponents. Right. And DeCoin had a couple more wins by their opponents than what we did. But right now, with being the undefeated team, we're automatically a number 1 seed. And then you play, what the important part is then you play a 6-3 team with the lowest amount of points. Right. So you would play, for example, DeCoin was a number 1 seed and played Olney. Right. Well, that would be a pretty good scenario, is for us to be, a number 1 seed and play somebody that doesn't have a whole bunch of points. Otherwise, they haven't beaten a lot of people that are real good.
Plus, it gives you a guarantee of a home first-round game, being the higher seed, and then from there you never know because it depends on who hosted the first round. But, boy, that number 1 seed certainly, and they talk about an NCAA basketball and the tournament pairings, that's the most important thing is to get that number 1 seed because it makes the road a little easier. It's never easy in the playoffs, but a little bit easier.
Yeah, and you'd have thought DeCoin kind of got ripped on that because they had to come here and play because of they hosted, I think, the first 3 games. I think we hosted the first. No, they hosted
the
first two, and we went 1-1, so they had to come here. But eventually you're going to have to beat great teams, and you're going to have to beat great teams away. But you're right. The biggest advantage you can give yourself is to play the as many games at home as you can, and play lower seeds because the higher the seed, the better the ball club.
Yeah. Well, we're running over here, Coach. We're going to have to say good night. Good luck to you Saturday, and 2 o'clock the start time. We should remind fans, if you'll line up on Cherry Street, I believe it's from 3rd Street out to 9th, around 12:30 the team bus leaves, 12:15 I think it is, Saturday. You can kind of greet the Aces as they head on out on Cherry Street as they head to Lawrenceville. So if you want to park your car along Cherry Street, you can do that.
That's a great idea. And, I tell you, I do have to run. You know why?
Why?
See, you're always worried whenever I say something like that.
Yes, I am.
Because my wife and my son are making me cupcakes. They're making them for me, not the rest of my kids either. Are making me cupcakes, and I'm hungry.
We're going to go. Cupcake time. We'll see you Saturday in Lawrenceville. For Aces coach John Hart, for our guests Ryan Haywood and Nick Snow, I'm Rob Blackman. Stay tuned. The Lou Tepper Show is next.
Lou.
I knew you were going to do